Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Fandom Empire Live, episode 92. That's right, 92, which is in fact the number that comes after 91, but before 93. There's some news for you. Some real news for you, if you will. Which probably shouldn't be news, or you probably should find your local medical center and get yourself checked out. It's May the 4th. Happy fucking Star Wars Day to everybody out there. Wow, was there a lot of announcements today? I said, boy, was there a lot of announcements today. Yeah. There was basically nothing. I mean, there was some stuff, but a lot of people were talking about there being a bunch, and as soon as we get the roundtable in here, I'm going to ask my former Star Wars Wastelands co-host, what is it about May the 4th that gets people excited other than it sounds like May the 4th? Frank Riker says, I hate May 4th. It's the time where all Star Wars fans shout to the heavens that it's the best franchise in history, which is no different than any other day. Stick a lightsaber in your ass. Wow. Tell us how you really feel, Frank. Man, tell us how you really... The jet's done on the hot tub, dude? Is it just not working for you? By the way, even though Frank's hating... which is okay, because, I mean, if I secretly love Scream anyways, I'd probably hate everything else too. Big shout out to the Slaughtered Lamb movie podcast, which is done by Frank Riker and Darren Sands. Those guys are in the top 20 in the world for movie podcasts. That's I think it's the world anyways. That's pretty fucking remarkable, boys. That's excellent. Great shit. You want to see two guys just talk about cinema and film and not even new stuff, old stuff, and just have endless chemistry on screen. There is the place to go. But without further ado, this cast of what the fuck is on your head? All right, first up, it's Darth Vader. How's it going?
Good. Just finished having a good Rick and Morty fan show. Pretty good day. I got to watch the brand new Star Wars cartoon today with my son, so that was really cool. We watched a little bit of it on his lunch break, and then at the end I said, "Well, do you want me to finish it, or do you want me to wait for you till after school?" And he said, "Wait till after school for me." And I was like, "Okay. We'll do that." And he was really excited about it. So, when you get to watch Star Wars with your kids, that's a special thing. So it was a great day.
Absolutely. Johnny, how's it going, man? Episode 92, Fandom Empire Live. It feels like not too long ago we were doing episode 100 for another show we used to do.
Yeah.
Although, in fact, it was a long time ago.
Almost 4 years ago at this point.
Episode 100 would have been towards the end of 2016, early 2017. So yeah, it's been a while.
Let's not start singing. What I'm really wondering today is if Kieron would put the mask back on. I think it's a great improvement on his regular face.
Is that because I didn't talk when I had it on?
Well, that also was a plus, but it also meant I didn't have to look at you.
Hey, if you like, we could throw a poll in there and see which one of us is more handsome.
No.
I'm thinking Tommy would win, but his second place would probably be me.
Jamie Maurer in the chat says, I show up, the first thing I see, dildo lightsabers. Now I know I'm at the right party. Big shout out to our boy Jamie in the chat. How's it going? How's everybody doing? Last but not least, T-Fresh up in the house. Twisted iced tea, or twisted tea. I fucked that up. Tommy B, what's happening, man?
Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Did you steal my sucker when I wasn't looking?
Nah, Sean. I'm hanging in there. It's
No, I think he's still my sucker.
It's been a nice day. I woke up early so I could watch Bad Batch before any spoilers start circulating. Although I think they were around yesterday. I went unspoiled, and it was totally worth it. I was probably the first one up the whole network to watch the premiere and loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I love that conversation that we were having in a chat the other day. With a couple of fellas that are going to be on here a little later, Zach and Ben from the new Fandom Empire show, IPC, which those guys have done a fantastic job on for, I think, 6 or 7 years now. And I had mentioned to them, I'm like, look, it's more of a shock now when something doesn't leak than when it does. Like, said thing X leaked. I'm so stunned. It's a lot different. Oh, wait, this didn't leak? Like, something not leaking these days is more news than something leaking. It did leak. It was out there a little early and a little more than 24 hours. And they were very accurate spoilers because I read some of them. So there you have
okay, we all get a second chance if you got spoiled on Friday because that's when the next episode comes out.
Frank Riker says, Toronto Freddy, come on, really? Revenge of the 5th is a thing, man. In fact, I like Revenge of the 5th more than May the 4th. I'm a Revenge of the Sith guy. Sign me the fuck up.
This is the May.
It's probably one of the...
This is now Star Wars month.
Star Wars month?
This is the May.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, we're getting a little too big for our britches at this point as a fandom because, co-opt a day out of a year, that's great. And then it was 2 days. And then suddenly it's like 5 days, and now we're co-opting a whole month? Dude, chill out.
This is the May.
I'm fine with 2 days, and let's be honest. If they really considered this their end-all and be-all day, and Johnny, I want to talk about this a little bit off the top before we dive into. Actually, let me go through this really quickly here. This is what you can expect on the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We have some plans for episode 100, which will take place June the 1st, right here on this very YouTube channel. We're going to talk a little bit about Spider-Man No Way Home a couple of times tonight. Star Wars animated movies. We're going to read some fan mail, which is basically just inboxes that I've gotten from some people. Some Halloween, I guess you could call it Halloween Kills update that spawns off of the fan mail. And a bit of our take on YouTube and podcasts and social media, so things could get spicy there. And then in about half an hour time, we're going to be joined by Ben Hart and Zach Arnold from the IPC Podcast. They're going to tell us what their show's about that'll be airing here on Fandom Empire every other Friday, and what we can expect from it. And we're also going to talk some Star Wars and some Spider-Man with them. And then my co-host from Across the Stars joins us, Ian, in hour 3, where we're going to talk about Bad Batch, our spoiler review. We'll get a non-spoiler review from Tommy before he exits in stage 2. We're going to talk about Knights of the Old Republic, and there's some stuff with the combat that's come out, and what's next. So we got a bunch of shit we're going to talk about tonight. It's May the 4th. It's going to be Star Wars heavy. But, we're going to talk about some other things. Spider-Man's going to be at the forefront. Halloween's going to be at the forefront. It's gonna be a lot of fun tonight. Before we get into this any further, Johnny, I see people complaining everywhere, basically that, oh my God, we didn't get all these announcements on May the 4th. How could they not announce this? How could we not get the first Kenobi set pick? How could we not get an Andor teaser? And my response to that is, if you think about it, and I'm willing to be proven wrong if someone wants to go do some fact checking. I don't think I am, though, because, Johnny, we've covered basically every May the 4th there's been since we started doing this. And May the 4th has never, except for last year, been a day where they announce a lot of new projects. And last year, we were under the opinion they basically did it on May the 4th just because they knew they had the Disney Plus thing later in the year. COVID was everywhere. People shouldn't be shocked that they didn't announce a bunch of stuff because it's really only happened one time on this day. Your brief thoughts on the situation?
It's an important day in the fandom, not an important day for the company. It never has been. And we can project all we want. Like, oh, it's May the 4th. This day should be the most important and biggest day of the year for Star Wars and Star Wars related. No, it shouldn't. It's just another day. It is a comment that fans created, that fans have fostered. Today is a day for the fans, not for the company. I mean, the company, like you pointed out, May the 4th has been a big day in the Star Wars fan community for pretty much ever. And the company's never done jack squat with it. Like the extent of their May the 4th coverage on StarWars.com.
Taika Waititi last year was the big one.
We've gotten one major piece of news on May the 4th for Star Wars, I dare say, ever. Even in the pre-Disney era when George had it and, the company could do far more things and there were far more projects, especially with the book universe being as big and as broad as it was. Even then, we didn't get announcements on May the 4th. You might get one if you're lucky, but this isn't new. This isn't news. It's just another day that fans have made more important than it is in reality.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool if the company showed some initiative and turned it into, a real event day. Like, to me, when they're doing their celebration stuff, they should be trying to line up with May the 4th. Obviously, the current, state of the world prevents that. But, I mean, going forward, assuming anything ever opens up again to have something like that happen, you should be gunning for May the 4th to be celebration weekend. I know we've seen it in March, and we've seen it in April, and we've seen it in August. Do it during May, and until they show a history of making announcements on this day. And it's not like they didn't make announcements. There were some announcements. We got the real life lightsaber that, or like it's a toy, obviously, or a collectible, but you press the button and the whole blade pops up, and you press it down and the whole blade goes. People have been wanting that for
that
2 decades.
One?
The what?
The one you get on the cruise?
It might have been that one. I know there's one. I've been following some of the speculation and rumors around it that it's going to start off as what do you call it? Kieron, what's the name of the Star Wars land place? You've been
Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge. So it's going to start off there, I believe.
The one I saw was like a cosplay Rey. I saw the video of it today, and it was for the cruise.
Yeah. I heard it was at Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, no, there is one.
It's going to start at Galaxy's Edge.
There's one that's going to start at Galaxy's Edge, and eventually it'll make its way everywhere, you would think.
We are talking about the same one, though. I saw that video.
Yeah.
It was a girl cosplaying.
I don't think it was a hashtag Galaxy's Edge. It was Galaxy's something else. I'd have to dig back in my Insta feed to find it. But
anyways, point is, announcements do happen on May the 4th, but everybody wants them to be like, okay, Darth Vader series announced, and this announced, and that announced, and it's like, they just announced 10 fucking shows. What else did you want? Like, I could understand if maybe you wanted some set pics from Kenobi, maybe a set pic of Hayden and Ewan together or something small like that. That's cool. But expecting, find out what the 2025 movie is. It's like, who said that was happening? Again, for years, we don't even cover Star Wars as much as we used to. Not even close. It shows that the fandom is still floored with expectations that aren't realistic and ends up really hurting fan communities by setting such high expectations. To me, watch Star Wars on May the 4th. Talk about some Star Wars with some friends like we're going to do today. But after that, whatever else you get, gravy is how I would put it.
It's not like we got a new show today.
Right? It's not like we got a new show that debuted with a movie, not like that happened or anything. But apparently that's not.
Plus a bunch of other things that nobody asked for.
Yeah, there's like
the Simpsons short.
The Simpsons short. I liked the Biomes or whatever the hell it's called. I
thought it was going to be like a documentary. No, it's literally one of those things you put on TV when you don't want to shut your TV off.
Right.
But you want to,
they were really lazy on a couple of those, but
it's like a Christmas Yule log outside of Christmas.
Man, all right, let's keep this ball rolling, guys. Spider-Man: No Way Home. I'm going to get your guys' takes on this very briefly. Keep it brief. Andrew Garfield said, "I never got the call for the movie." This is the guy that, had the tabloid articles written about him for being really rude to the Uber driver who caught him a few blocks from set staying in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, you're not in the movie. Sure, but to like Andrew Garfield's defense, like what's he supposed to say? Like he can't turn around and be like, yeah, I'm in the movie. I went and spoiled it before they could actually do their big reveal. Like they're clearly hiding shit. When they debuted the Phase 4 footage the other day, only one movie had no footage attached to it. Guess what movie that was? It's this one. That's right. Kieron, your take. Is Andrew Garfield in this movie? Or are people just overreacting?
Oh, I think he's definitely in the movie, but I also think he's saying the right thing. Like there's no other thing to say. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing as like, we're like me and Johnny are fans of sports. I know you're a fan of sports. Like the coach said that a running back drafted in the first round this weekend was just going to be their third down back. Like, yeah, you drafted him in the first round. He's not going to be coming on for, once every 10 plays. Like, he'll be there. Like, but that's the coach thing to say because you got other guys on the team. So I just think Garfield's being the anti-Tom Holland and not revealing every fucking thing he can spit out. He's just being a team player.
The real relic says Star Wars is oversaturated. Hard to argue with that. I really honestly can't. Hang on, let me. Okay, so we have episode 100 coming up on this channel, June 1st. It's going to be a fun show, 3-hour special. There'll be no Rick and Morty that show. We're going to start at 8, go till 11, and I can tell you that special guests already include the likes of Jimmy Champagne, Drum Dums, still working on Dave. I don't see there being an issue there, though, because we'll be able to actually sit down and discuss It's Me, Billy. We'll all have already seen it. And then, obviously, the people that make this channel run, guys like Tommy, guys like Kieron, guys like Johnny, and other people that will be on that episode. It's going to be a fun 3-hour thing broken down into 3 different segments, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that. So be on the lookout for that. June 1st, episode 100, Fandom Empire Live. Crazy. I'm going to save the more Star Wars animated movies until the final segment, guys, just because Ian's coming on to talk about some of that stuff. But quickly, Tommy, I'll get your take. Give us your take on The Bad Batch without spoilers, the premiere, and your take on there being more standalone Star Wars animated movies expected over the next couple of years.
I can't believe you left this one till after I'm off. You're awful. I was the first one to see it. So, The Bad Batch, there was a rumor circulating that there would be a little bit of a surprise appearance, and I'm going to add, I guessed who it was, and it was thoroughly enjoyable from start to finish. I'm going to go down, and without spoiling any of it, I'm going to say you need to go watch it. Make sure you don't get spoiled. The Bad Batch, as it's panned out so far, is a worthy successor or a worthy follow-up to the Clone Wars, including the final season and the final arc. I am impressed, and I'm grateful. Definitely a great way to get a start to my May the 4th. I actually watched the first scene or first chunk of the episode mini movie a second time before the show this evening, and I'm really looking forward to Friday. If you didn't know already, we're getting another episode on Friday. It's just like when they premiered The Mandalorian, I believe.
Don't expect them to be like the episodes going forward to be like what we got today.
45 minutes, something like that.
Isn't The Bad Batch Gremlins too?
Yes, it is also that.
No.
Okay,
it's better than the Gremlins.
That is actually
great.
The subtitle.
It's great. I absolutely love this mini movie of sorts we got. Love it.
Spooky Clemente in the house, aka Mask Maker Mike. Mike, you're just in time, sir, because we got some fan mail in here, and one of them is regarding you. So that's clever that you're in here. Good stuff. Let's get to this fan mail, guys, because it's going to spring on some Halloween Kills talk. before we switch over here. First up, we got a message in from David, pardon me. I haven't been able to watch your live streams lately, but what's the latest update with Haddonfield the Vanished? We have talked about this on air a couple of times, and the update on Haddonfield the Vanished is quite simply this. Canada is a complete fucking shit show right now. There's no other way to put it than it's been handled fucking poorly. It's a shit show. I might have mentioned that it's a shit show. And the reason why Johnny, Kieron, and I are not all lined up in a line here or having a good time in studio, you know, the way that Kieron likes to hit on Johnny and, you know, get on some of that stuff. We all know that happens. We're going to get the behind-the-scenes camera running here real soon. Look at them. Look, they're both in denial. They're both in denial. Come on.
As long as there's no under-the-table camera.
So you admit that it's happening. Kieron's just like, what the fuck is going on? No, seriously, though. Haddonfield the Vanished has been officially delayed until 2022. The Haddonfield Slayer, which is our prequel, which we do believe we can shoot without having too many issues come summer, is slated for release this year. It's a prequel. It's going to be about 10, 15 minutes long, all found footage. Think Cloverfield. We're going to have a lot of fun doing that. Kieron's going to be heavily involved. I think Johnny's involved on some level in that. And we'll see what ends up happening. But that should come out this year. Haddonfield the Vanished is still going to happen. Perks are still going to be filled out. Some of them actually already have been filled out, and we're still waiting on some others. So still happening, still A-OK. You guys have anything you want to add? Johnny, I know you're involved on a very minimal level, but like things are shit up here. If you guys want to just quickly chime in on that, we'll move on to the next one.
I think you've handled it very succinctly without a long rant.
The one time Johnny doesn't have a long rant. And Kieron's mic is muted. Kieron's mic is muted. Kieron's mic is muted. Kieron's not listening to us.
I think I feel just as frustrated as any of the fans could be because I want to work on it too. I know Sean wants to work on it. We want to get to work on it, but yeah, we're stuck in our house. We're not even supposed to be anywhere right now. Like you can get in trouble for walking your dog with someone else right now. Like it's fucking crazy. So what can you do? Can't exactly get together 15, 20 people together to film even a tiny scene.
It would have been one thing if we would have got like 80% of the movie done last year. I would have been like, yeah, hey, we could definitely do this. But because we're sitting like 35, 40%, it's not doable. It's just not.
Yeah, no,
doable.
It's not complete. I know I didn't film a lot of my stuff. I know, so I know it's not really. We can't even really put together a story, right? So no, and it's just like. It's frustrating because I know people want to see it, and I know people donated to it, and I mean people have already been getting their perk payoffs, so that's great. But at the end of the day, you know, we got to do what we got to do to survive. So apparently, we're the 4 sexiest men alive. All right. Email number 2 comes in from Tyler. Where is the best place to get a Halloween mask rehauled? In my opinion, the best place is the guy that just popped into the chat. I call him Mask Maker Mike here. The chat knows him as Spooky Clemente, a.k.a. Mike Clemente. You can find him as Spooky Clemente on Instagram. Mike, I don't know if you have like a Facebook store page. I know Instagram is the main place to get him. Spooky Clemente, he did me. What a terribly poor choice of words. He did me. Oh my God. He did this for me. Fuck. All right. Which is just incredible. It's as damn close to screen accurate as it gets for Halloween Kills, at least during portions of the movie. And we had this out way before there was any official image of that mask. To toot our horn a little and to toot Bike's horn. So yeah, reach out to Mike. Coming starting June 1st, you're going to notice a new graphic set here. You're going to notice new intros. You're going to notice new outros for all the shows. And during it, Mike will have an ad up for his store. I know Mike's got other stuff he sells. I know he does or at least he used to do the Lori arm, where she got her arm cut. You get like the mannequin arm, and it has Lori's sleeve, and it has the slice in it. And Mike does all sorts of stuff. So check him out.
Instagram, Spooky Clemente, and then going forward, coming at the beginning of June, you'll see a little ad run for whatever various items he wants to put on display. He says the best place to get him is Instagram. There you have it. Mr. Mike.
Apparently, if you give enough money, he toots your horn and you toot his horn and he does you and all sorts of stuff.
We're talking about tooting horns.
Well, I mean, Mike and I are both taken individuals, so I hope he's not doing me. Jade might have a problem with that, as his woman might have a problem with that too. And there's a bit of an age difference too, so, you know. Anyways, Mike's the best guy to go to. His prices are fair. They're usually somewhere between $200 and $300, way cheaper than a lot of other places. I will say this though, Halloween 18 masks are kind of hard to come by at the moment. So get them while they're hot and get them when he has a chance to get them out to you, because obviously Trick or Treat Studios will be releasing their own Halloween Kills mask shortly, which if you want a good version of it, you're going to have to get it rehauled because they never do a good enough job off the top. So yeah, Mike's your guy. Email number 3. And this one's some fun. All right. Pardon me. Sorry, guys. One moment. Email number 3 comes in from Joe. You guys are terrible. Like straight up garbage. A complete waste of my time. I watch you all the time, and it's seriously a train wreck. Let me reread that.
Why are you watching us all the time?
Let me reread that. Hang on.
We're such a train wreck.
In fact,
pretty fair.
That's
pretty fair.
That I need to vape from that. Sorry, I just do.
While Sean's vaping up, Tommy, what do you think of Gremlins?
Gremlins.
We really going there?
I think we just did.
Yay or nay, Tommy? Yay or nay, quickly. Because we don't have time for a whole shtick.
I haven't seen Gremlins in years.
You're right. It's terrible. Moving on.
Like, that's that movie with those little furry animals that, like, if you feed them after midnight or something, they turn into, like,
they're
Salacious
mogwais.
Crump, basically. Like them, right?
They're mogwais, and they turn into gremlins if you feed them after midnight.
They turn into Salacious Crump.
Frank Reicher's like, I see you got my email. Frank, that's mean, man. Anyways, Joe, and I have a feeling I know who Joe is. You guys are terrible. Straight up garbage, a complete waste of my time. I watch you all the time, and it's a train wreck every time. Was the exact wording on it. So again, let me go back to this one here. Sorry, where were we? You guys are terrible. A complete waste of time. I watch you all the time. A complete waste of time. I watch you all the time. Somebody help me here.
I mean, they're all fair points, you know. Everything's a waste of time. So, whatever. You're wasting time no matter what you're doing. You pass by a train wreck on the 401, you look at it, you watch it.
I in fact don't look at it because I'm a good driver. I just continue
I look at it.
fucking rubbernecking. Anyways,
whatever. Yeah.
Good for you, Joe. Thanks.
I'm just happy that there's like 50 to 60 people wasting their time with us tonight. So,
Mike in the chat's like, why do they keep watching? People just want to complain. I really enjoy your content, and we'll continue to tune in. Thank you, Mike. We had a super chat from Matt back here. He says, you draft a running back to be a third down back sometimes. He has to earn more of a role. LOL, Kieron.
But not in the first round. You don't in the first round. Running backs almost never go in the first round these days, and when they do, they're Najee Harris and Travis Etienne and Saquon Barkley and the guys who are there all the time. You draft a third down back in the fourth round.
Frank Riker says, I'm assuming that email was done in crayon. No, it turns out it was Crayola washable markers. Crayola washable markers. Crayon would have been
a choice of douchebags.
Yeah, all right. And then the last one here comes in from Josh. And this is where we're going to go on. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant, and we'll talk a bit of Halloween kills, and we'll talk some kills at the very end too. as we go off. It's not a heavy Halloween stream, but we do have some stuff. Josh says, we watched a movie, Jimmy, Wolfman Lee's and yours Twitter thread the other day. Were the Wham guys throwing shade at you? No, I don't think we watched a movie that was throwing shade at us. I think they were throwing shade at, I believe it's like at Halloween with a 4 instead of an A. Obsessed. He's the guy that willingly posted. See, the problem is someone created fake credits last year for Halloween Kills, but the problem is the fake credits contained very real information about the movie. And he just started going around posting it on Twitter and various Halloween groups, and obviously it contains some spoilers in there when you look at the cast. And it's like, dude, you just spoiled something for so many fucking people without them asking. Don't post spoilers without a spoiler warning. It's that fucking simple. So, no, I don't think they were getting mad at us. I think they were getting mad at, what is this? Oh, I thought Ian was dropping some news, but it's some cool fan art. But, yeah, no. I don't think it was towards us at all. I understand where that's coming from, though, because the way that... and look, I'm going to preface this by saying this is my take on the Twitter thread. Tommy, I know you were following a little bit of it. I do think they need to be... I mean, hey, we watched a movie as 100,000 subscribers. The last person they need to take any advice from is the guy who sits here and runs just under a 3,000 subscriber channel. Right? They don't need fucking any advice from any of us on here. That's just... plain as day. But I can see how the impression was given on Twitter that, oh, if you don't have a big following, you can't possibly know shit. Because it did come across that way. Again, I love the Wham guys. I love Mike and John. They're both great. I think they're two of the most hilarious guys you're ever going to see on YouTube. No, I don't think they were talking about us. We were involved in the thread. I think they would have just called us out like they called that guy out. However, I can see how some people could take it from that. And you got to be careful with how you word things, because look, if you are naive enough or ignorant enough to believe that size matters in terms of knowing someone or having some connections, like fucking Johnny and I were talking about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series being a real thing in 2015. So don't give me your channel or your podcast needs to be a certain size. Again, that wasn't us that had that scoop. That was another group of individuals that had that scoop that were kind enough to share it with us on our show, but they were in the know-how. The idea that size matters when it comes to knowing shit is just... and I'm not saying they're saying that, by the way, but I understand how some people are getting that perception. It doesn't. Look, I mean, I know, Johnny, you know Peter Zezel. At least the name should ring a bell. Kieron probably even remembers that name.
The name I haven't heard in a very long time, but yeah.
My uncle was like this with the guy. And it was like, you know, there's connections. It's just the way the world works. I can't believe I have to be on this channel explaining this again. And it's not to defend us. Look, at the end of the day, if the Halloween-obsessed guy on Twitter was getting a bunch of shit right, Wham is probably not calling that guy out. Okay, they're just not. But because he's gotten a bunch of shit wrong, which happens, not to say we haven't gotten anything wrong, because it happens, but that and the spoiling people without asking to be spoiled is a good way to turn basically everybody against you. Again, though, I understand how some people think that, you know, what they said meant, you know, if you're not as big as them sort of thing, then you can't possibly have inside information or whatever. And it's complete garbage. I'm not saying they said that either. I'm saying I understand how other people are getting that idea. Tommy, your take on this and just the idea that size matters when it comes to having information that gets around. I think you've been around long enough to know that that's not the case.
No, it's not the case. It's a matter of the individuals who are at work behind the scenes. I'm not saying that someone who just started a YouTube channel 5 minutes ago, 5 days ago, with 2 subscribers is going to find a source or anything like that. But, you know, to a certain extent, hard work can pay off, which is the case that we are very fortunate and privileged with our own channel and community here. We've, you know, had sources come along and folks who were willing to share insights and what have you. And honestly, it's just so unfortunate because even channels across fandoms that are just exorbitantly large and their household names in their fandoms, they get stuff wrong too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So this whole size is the only factor that matters, and smaller channels, smaller medium-sized channels and communities don't know anything. It's complete garbage. It should go in that Star Wars Day trash compactor.
For sure. Again, I want to point out that I'm not saying Wham said that. I'm saying I understand how public perception.
I'm just commenting on the principle.
Could be like, okay, it sort of did come off on that level, and it's like, and hey, when you have 100,000, followers, 130,000, whatever it is they have, whatever. But at the end of the day, I think they were right to call it who they did. And again, I don't think they were referring to us. However, any big channel that looks at it and goes, oh, well, this other channel must have no valuable information or insight because of their size is just, it's mind-bogglingly nuts, because every YouTube channel that covers Halloween, as soon as the end of this month hits here, and you can read into that however you will, their views are going to go up and up and up and up, because that's what they cover all the time, and that's the way it works. That's the algorithm. Johnny, quick thoughts on this.
No, I mean, you had it exactly right. It doesn't matter who you are, everybody gets things wrong. But, just running out there and, the words spoiler warning take literally 2 seconds. It's a 6-syllable sentence. Like, say it, it's not hard, and then you're off the hook. It's 2 words in a title or description. It's not a difficult thing to say or do, so do it.
Yep.
And if you don't do it, then people are going to be pissed off. People who don't want spoilers. People like me who, while yes, they enjoy your opinion and, that's all well and good, but they don't want to know the facts of spoilers. We've talked about the big red script you've got there, and I've never touched it. I've never opened it. I've never looked at it. And you've never tried to, have some respect for people who don't want. Not everyone wants spoilers. People that do, will find them. You can provide them, but not everyone does. Don't be a dick.
No, absolutely, and look, don't. It doesn't matter how big your YouTube channel size is. Like our channel's going to grow this year. How much remains to be seen, but it'll grow, and other YouTube channels are going to grow too. But treasure the audience that you do have. We have, basically 3,000 followers at this point, or subscribers, close to it. And, we have 60 people watching live tonight. And, the video will probably cap up anywhere between 400 and 1,000 views. And several of those views will be people that don't subscribe or don't want to click the subscribe button. And that's fine. But don't forget about the people who do support you week in, week out, video in, video out. Because without them, you don't have a show. Regardless of the size of your show. Kieron, any last thoughts on this topic before we outro you? For now, anyway.
I have it on good authority that size matters.
Are we talking about, food or drinks? Because that's about the only place it matters.
Ooh, quality over quantity.
We could also comment on that, but we don't need to go there.
No, yeah, I got nothing else
I think that's the point of what I'm saying. Food or drinks, that's the only place size matters.
Quality over quantity. Anyway, Tommy, you want to go see if Zach and Ben are ready in the staff chat, and we'll pull these guys in.
They're in the green room, right?
Yeah.
You wanna go
well, we don't have a green room right now because we just use Streamlabs. If we paid for StreamYards, which in my opinion looks like a really watered-down version of Streamlabs, then they would be in the green room. But no green room for now. So.
Oh, wow.
You just wanted to see the green room, didn't you?
Well, whatever. I'm going to hang around. I'm going to watch the show while I'm off.
Fun.
I don't know how good it'll be without me being on it, but...
Oh, I'm sure it'll be a train wreck, right? So, I mean, without you, what would we ever do? What would we ever do if it wasn't for you?
It'll be a fucking train wreck.
While we're waiting for Ben and Zach, I also just want to say this on the Halloween Kills front. This is what I have heard. All right, let's be careful how I say this because we know Troll City will come in here and say I said something that I didn't say. I'm saying what I've heard is the poster is coming towards the end of the month / beginning of next month, which means the trailer is likely later than that. So, I'm thinking last week in May, first week in June for the poster. That makes sense. This is not huge information, by the way. Most other YouTube channels that follow this stuff closely understand. Or if you look at what's going on with a lot of the, media outlets, and if they have articles lined up, and sometimes you can get information that way, and you time them up. So those that are expecting a trailer to drop any day now, it's not going to happen. The poster will likely happen first. And by the way, there is no teaser poster. I don't know where this teaser poster shit came from. I was going to do a standalone video just on this issue. There's no fucking teaser poster. It's just a poster. This isn't Star Wars where you get a teaser poster a year before the movie comes out, and then a few months before the movie comes out, they jam-pack every fucking character they can on a poster and call it a poster. No, it's not. To my knowledge, there's one poster, and it's not all that different from the last one. There's a lot of similarities there. So we'll see. Again, that's what I've heard. And we'll go from there. Matt Whitfield sends in a $5 super chat. I guess they didn't tell Johnny Size Matters on his Pornhub channel.
Seeing as how I don't have a Pornhub channel?
I mean, hey, if you did, and you're making the cheddar cheese off of it, none of us would be blaming you, man. Just saying. We all know there's an OnlyFans somewhere with just you and that hat on, which is just my nightmare.
How do you know that?
Anyway, Kieron, we'll see you in segment number 3. Good, sir.
Bye-bye.
And, I got to fix Tommy's video. Half of his head's cut off here. All righty. I'm going to attempt to get Mr. Zach and Ben Hart on here. So as they're coming on, Johnny, since you've been around this area for quite some time, what's it mean, you being a staff member at Fandom Empire, mainly an on-air guy, but what's it mean to the channel to bring on a podcast that not only have you listened to, but been on, like IPC into the lineup? What's it mean for us going forward?
I mean, I think it's an amazing thing. Like you said, IPC is it's been around just around the same time as you and I have been podcasting. I think they've got us by a couple of months.
A year, I think. I could be wrong.
I thought we were both the same year, but they were a few months.
Man, I'm too old to remember any of this anymore. Yeah. They would know.
Either way, it's close. But I mean, to have a show that has stayed with the same two hosts, with the same iteration for as long as they have is amazing, and it's a show that's great quality. I enjoy listening. I don't listen to many podcasts except my own. That aren't about professional wrestling. There's a bunch that I listen to, but in the fandom and geekdom world, there are very few podcasts that I go out of my way to listen to. But when Ben and Zach talk about something that I enjoy as a fan, I'm going out of my way to listen to it because they're two awesome dudes. I've had the opportunity personally to spend a lot of time with Ben, both online and in person, and he's an awesome dude. Zach, I've never had the opportunity in person, but obviously digitally, the hours are endless. In fact, he's the only person on planet Earth who owes me a refund on my life experiences.
You're never gonna let me live that down, are you?
No, sir, I am not. You owe me an hour and 45 minutes of my life back, and I will collect it.
Well, just wait until I introduce you to the glory that is Lamageddon. I'll owe you even more.
Oh, God. Before we introduce the two hosts, quickly, Tommy, you've been number 2 here for the longest time. When we left 1138 back in 2018, you and I sort of had a vision of what we wanted to do. It took a long time to get there. But what do you have to say about these two individuals that are joining the roster and going to bring their awesome show onto the channel?
Yeah, sure. I've known Ben on and off for quite a long time. Originally with the SW. Zach, I'm just gonna be straight up honest. I have no idea when we first connected. But
years ago, I'm sure it was 1138 related.
I'm sure. Oh, absolutely.
God knows how long ago that was, because I mean, I've been on 1138 or just doing, IPC's been on 1138 up until this point since 2014. So
it's been a very long time. But I was slated to come on IPC one time. I don't think that ever happened, but I've listened to IPC on and off over the years. We've worked together at a network before, and I am beyond thrilled to have that opportunity again. You guys are solid show hosts. You make great product, and in my opinion, you help give the community something to rally behind. So I'm looking forward to seeing you folks on board, bring IPC here, and just boost up the show slate, if you will.
Without further ado, though, the guys that we're talking about, and by the way, Johnny, at least you watched it and then talked about it. I watched it and couldn't go on that night, so I really watched friggin' that horrible, horrible movie for no reason, and I wasn't even on that night. So.
That's your own fault.
Oh, it was terrible. Without further ado, though, Zach Arnold, Benjamin Hart, the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. How's it going, guys?
Dude, this is exciting. This is a really, really exciting time, and I don't want to speak for Ben or speak out of turn, but
don't speak for me.
But I mean, YouTube is something that we've tried to delve into before and just haven't been very successful at it. And then here you guys are on a very successful platform, giving us new venture opportunities and new people to collaborate with and a new audience to try and reach out to. Like, this is, to me, a fantastic opportunity, and I'm so grateful and so excited to be part of the Fandom Empire team.
Oh yeah, this is the big leagues, man. This is it. Like,
for real.
I mean, it's a long time coming, and we've been successful at this for quite a while doing the podcast thing. But I've seen more and more shows like, hey, we're going on YouTube, and I'm like, man, I wish we could do that.
Yeah, seriously.
And knowing that neither one of us had the time or the capabilities to like make that happen, it was almost depressing.
Well,
and then to have these guys come up and go, hey, we'll do this. I'm like, okay, that's great. That I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to learn a whole other system. It's just happened. You're on a successful network, and these guys know what they're doing. And I'm not going to screw it up accidentally.
Yeah, and the other problem about the two of us, if I'm being totally honest, is we're creatures of habit, and we just got used to doing the same old, and eventually it did get old. There were some instances where we had maybe 2 people listening live, and then everything else was stuff that was published after the fact. And we're still going to reach that after the fact people, that audience, but to be able to reach a whole new live audience in this fashion is really, really cool.
Oh yeah, totally.
Sorry guys, we got a super chat in here. Does Lee Brackett have a decent amount of screen time in Halloween Kills? I can't answer that outright because that'd be a spoiler, but all I will say is he's not part of the main ensemble. He's not one of those main characters, so read into that what you will. Zach, I'll go to you first, man. What can everybody expect to see? There's a lot of people in the chat right now who have probably never listened to an episode of IPC. Maybe if you guys could, well, it's about to be their gain. What can they expect to not only hear but see on the show? And does the fact that you guys now have a visual platform and not just an audible one change some things that you guys might be doing? I know you were throwing some things out there in the chat a week or two ago.
Yeah. It's it's something that IPC, for those who don't know, it's a show where we talk about literally anything we want, basically. Like it's just a free for all in regards to, like, obviously we're a sci-fi fantasy driven show, but we've been known to branch out into other things. We really don't have any parameters. It's just like, hey, what's exciting? What are we excited about this week? And we've done movies reviews about literally every movie you can think of over the years, and we do top 5 segments. We just did top 5 video game characters just a couple weeks ago, and we do news. We do it's basically anything and everything. And now that we're in a visual medium, I think that opens up a lot of doors in regards to like what we could do. It's just exciting to be on this platform and to know we have a whole new audience. Hopefully some of you guys that are listening right now will come over and join us and hopefully be happy with what we talk about, because it gets crazy sometimes. I'm just going to be honest. It does, especially the later it gets. We have a saying, it's getting late, guys. And that's why, because it just gets late and it gets crazy. And it gets more entertaining.
That's when it gets good, because when we're doing those top 5 episodes and we're listing our 5 at the very end after reading off everybody else's, we get to like our penultimate, and Ben will be like, yeah, my number 2. And I'm just like, he's number 2, because I'm actually 12.
And I'm like, shut up.
And so there'll be a lot of
bantering. I'm just telling myself the entire time, don't say number 2, don't say number 2, don't say number 2.
And then he still ends up saying it. So I'm actually 12 when I look 27. But we'll make jokes like that, and we'll have some puns mixed in there quite a lot, and we'll talk about whatever the recent release is, and if there aren't very many recent releases like we've had in the last year, then we do revisits. We've done franchises, everything from Indiana Jones to Jurassic Park to Pirates of the Caribbean, Harry Potter, obviously Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, DC, you name it, we've probably talked about it. Even the occasional horror film to a certain extent. Probably not to the degree that you guys do, so that is something that you guys can kind of help fill the gaps in with. You'll have those franchises, and we'll have just about everything else on the table for a discussion. And I think that's the thing that I'm really most excited about, is there's a lot of other fandoms out there, and now we get to be part of a literal fandom empire. And that just branches out so many opportunities for us as far as discussion topics, as far as engagement with the live chat. I see a lot of people live right now. Hi, Santino, Melissa, Toronto Freddy, Kieron, Wayne, Fat Pat. I don't even know what that means, but I'm excited that you guys are here. This is a super awesome chat, and you guys send in actual super chats, and to be able to vibe off of that and feed off of that, in addition to the vibing that Ben and I already have and have had for the last almost 7 years now, that's just a really cool feeling and a really cool component to something that I feel like is already a pretty solid show, and now we get to continue that.
Always room for improvement.
Oh, for sure.
That is true.
For sure.
That is true.
The second you think there's not room for improvement, you're getting ahead of yourself. So, I got a question for you guys here, and then I'm going to let Johnny ask one.
So, Johnny, you better think of a question.
There's a there's a segment that you guys do on your show that I don't think you've ever really presented in like a visual way, well broadcasting live. Is that gonna change going forward? I'm looking at the guy from Mississippi who happens to do some barbecue related things.
I mean, technically, this new version of IPC the whole episode will be a BBQ watch, because I will literally be broadcasting within a barbecue restaurant. So it's kind of, it's just kind of a given. But the visual element, this is something we're going to have to I'm already thinking what could we do with this? Where could we go? Because we got another dimension here to work with. What could happen?
For me personally, there are times that I'm actually eating dinner while I'm on the podcast, and that's something I'll have to watch out for now that we're live. and you can actually see my mouth and you can see my face. The reason you're seeing like a close up instead of the 3/4 shot that you get from Ben is I'm in my underwear, and that's something I'm gonna have to be careful with. I
podcasted in my ass underwear last night.
Yeah. And so I'm like looking at you guys really close up because you ain't seeing my Whataburger boxers, not today anyways. Go to my OnlyFans for that shit. So there's definitely some adjustments that we're going to be making. The visual component is definitely one of them, not only for us personally, but yeah, for barbecue, because I'm from Texas and I have a barbecue restaurant that's literally like a mile away from me, and we're never really more than 2 miles away from them in any given direction. And so I've basically grown up around barbecue, and literally Ben has too, by being raised in a barbecue restaurant. And so we've had a lot of thoughts on barbecue for the last 7 years, and those thoughts continue. Sometimes we'll do restaurant reviews. Sometimes we'll talk about a particular side that we really enjoyed, or a particular drink or dessert that complements barbecue the best. Sometimes we'll actually take it in universe. And like when we did our Rogue One discussion a few years ago, we actually said, where would be the best location to have a barbecue? And we looked at all the different planets that were in the movie Rogue One, and just had a discussion about where we would want to do a cookout. So, you may hear us discussing different grills or different preparation tactics. You may hear restaurant reviews from when we go out of town. And if we brought any of it home, then yeah, for sure, we're going to put that up on the screen as well. So barbecue is like a really crucial component that's going to continue even on the visual side of things. But it's definitely going to look a little more different than it has in the past.
Awesome. Johnny, what do you got for them?
Oh, yes, my question is of the extreme importance. Zach, how will you be refunding me the 1 hour and 45 minutes of my life that I spent watching Zombies?
Is that your real question?
It absolutely is a real question.
I can reimburse you by sending you an autographed copy of Zombies 2.
That sounds a good deal to me.
Wow. Was that your legit question, Johnny? I legitimately don't know if you have any.
You can save that.
How would you question that?
Is it bad that I believe Zach actually has an autographed version of Zombies 2?
What he's not mentioning is that it's autographed by him.
Yeah, I'm going to autograph it and then express ship it up to you and be like, here you go. There's your refund.
All right.
But on that, there's actual physical copies of Zombies 2.
On the idea of Zombies and Zombies 2 and Llamageddon and all that sort of thing, though, that's the type of crap that you can expect on this channel on our R-rated program. For the most part, IPC has generally been PG to PG-13, appealing to families and people that have kids that maybe they want to play while they're cooking dinner or something. For the most part, it's been generally that way. You may hear me drop the occasional F-bomb on the show now, and then Ben will have to bleep it out in post or something. I don't know. But yeah. But for the most part, it's been generally family friendly. And we have an R-rated extension program that we're looking at reviving that is going to be doing movie reviews of crap like that, and then also just R-rated films. So for the most part, aside from the occasional movie that just absolutely warrants a review, even though it's rated R, like I think we did the Deadpool movies at one point, didn't we? And those are rated R. And so aside from something like that, you'll generally see the R-rated movies and the R-type discussions on the extension program RIPC. So that's also something to look out for as far as content goes. We haven't set any specifics on how frequent that will be, but I'm hoping monthly. But that also kind of depends on the Fandom Empire schedule as well. We wouldn't want to conflict with anyone else's quality content because we're just really excited to be here and don't want to be stepping on people's toes.
And the point of our IPC is to, one, talk about stuff that is R-rated and may not appeal to everyone, and two is to talk about anything that is terrible and curse about it, how much we hate it.
Yep.
And sometimes even I'll curse sometimes, so you got to watch out for that. You got to listen in.
Yeah, that's probably the only time you'll hear Ben say shit.
Ben cursing is like an eclipse.
It really is. And like the last time I heard him, he has like said shit in group chats that I've been part of before. But the last time I actually heard him say the word shit was when we were in California to go see The Rise of Skywalker. We stayed up and played Cards Against Humanity one night.
Oh boy.
And we literally went through the whole fucking deck. And every time Ben was the judge, all we did was try to find our worst card humanly possible so that he would be obligated by the rules of the game to say words like big old titties out loud.
It was glorious. It felt good too to say those words.
That's something.
And I love that it's not recorded so that there's some deniability there in case, you know.
He can plead the fifth all he wants, but I know what happened.
Because that's something we definitely need to do on the channel is play Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, that'd be.
I can understand that. I said shit to The Rise of Skywalker too.
I was actually going to say, you're talking about, movies that you just want to swear at. I feel like Ben and myself and Kieron, who's not on here at the moment, but he's watching in the chat. He's one of our chat mods and a show host on the channel, would disagree on some of those movies. Ben and Kieron being pro Last Jedi guys, and me being not so pro Last Jedi guy.
Kieron would probably be pro zombies.
I'll say this though: for as much problems as I have with the Last Jedi, holy fuck, I will watch that movie 10 billion times before I watch Zombies again. Like, and I'll find positive things to say about it too. So
okay.
See, Zombies is a movie. It's just the ultimate uniter. We all are united in hating it or loving to hate it.
If the chat has any questions, Kieron has one in. We're gonna get to that in a second, but we want to play a little game with these guys. If anybody has any questions regarding IPC, regarding Zach himself or Ben himself, Ben, who we used to know as Ben the Caveman Hart back in the Wastelands days, you know what we need to do is we need to get Kieron's younger brother Thaden on here at the same time as Ben, and get some real Star Wars trivia going. Oh, those two will be here all night.
Speaking of trivia, I actually went to a trivia night at a bar in Fort Worth, and my team won $50 worth of gift cards to the bar by winning 2 rounds of trivia night.
That's awesome.
Trivia.
Well, I mean, it was Star Wars trivia, and some of the questions were pretty basic, like a multiple choice for who was the actor that played Lando Calrissian. But then there were some others that were like, what before he was a cyborg, what was General Grievous's species, or something like that.
Oh,
wow, that's pretty hard for a person.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah. So like it had varying levels of difficulty, and I think we only missed like 1 or 2 questions the whole night, and the questions that we missed were generally questions that everyone else missed as well. So we really won by like 1 or 2 points overall for the whole night. But there was this other team there called Team Bourbon that was apparently like a regular team that goes there on a regular basis, and they finished in 3rd that night.
Nice.
So it was nice to kick some regulars' ass and also come home with basically free food and drinks for going out and playing Star Wars trivia. It was pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
All right, we're going to play a little game called Yay or Nay. Zach has definitely played it before. I don't know if Ben has played it before.
Oh, dear.
I have no idea what this is, and I'm excited.
Yay or Nay. And I believe, let me know if I got this right or wrong. It's going to be your 7-year anniversary, right?
Yay.
Awesome. So there's 7 questions for the 7 years of IPC.
Okay.
And a couple of these questions Tommy and Johnny will know because they're terrible. So let's start off with this. Ketchup, yay or nay? This is to both of you.
What's the context? I mean, it's great on a hot dog. It's terrible on potato chips.
Spaghetti.
I'm going to have to go with nay there.
I would go nay in that context. Yay with fries.
But ketchup's good on
record,
some
ketchup
things,
on
right?
Potato chips is actually not bad, as
I
long
mean,
as they're regular potato chips.
I mean, the wavy lays, I guess.
Well,
but
time out. Are you talking about like ketchup on a bag of chips? Like you're not talking a chip truck. You're talking like you just went to buy a bag of Lay's or a bag of Ruffles. Is that what you're talking about, Johnny?
dip a chip in ketchup. It's not
Oh,
awful. It's actually
God.
pretty good.
They're both pretty high in salt content, so that's probably an indication that your sodium levels are low.
Wow.
Yeah, go drink a glass of water.
Johnny,
Dr.
what is
Arnold.
wrong with you? We don't have enough time to answer that question. Let's move on. Question number 2. Mashed potatoes, yay or nay?
Nay.
Oh,
Yay.
I just knew Ben was going to say nay. Is it the barbecue thing? You got to have your potatoes done a different way?
They got to be fried. All right, they got to be fried. I ain't eating it. It's all texture for me. Like you give it to me like mashed up. No, thank you. Get that out of my face.
So what do you have with like a turkey or a roast? You still fry it up?
What do I have with a turkey? You have stuffing with a turkey, right? Yeah.
All right.
Among other things.
Potato. Where's the potato?
Maybe it's official.
I don't
IPC is Potato Gate. No potatoes. All right, let's get to this one. I'm hard yay on this one. Honey garlic barbecue. It could be on whatever barbecue. Honey garlic barbecue.
I don't know if I've ever had that. So
I don't know
yay,
what
sounds good.
I don't know what that is. It doesn't sound like real barbecue if I haven't heard of it, so nay.
You've never had honey garlic chicken wings?
I don't. That's not barbecue. What the fuck are you
Is this
talking
a
about?
Canadian abomination?
I was gonna say, it has to be a
apparently, is this a
Canadian thing, right?
Canada thing? Honey
This
garlic?
sounds like a
I don't
Canadian
think
thing, and if it's
so.
Canadian, it's not barbecue.
I
so
thought it
fuck
was
no.
like a North American thing. I'm hard yay. Wow.
Canadians.
Clearly, we didn't take Ben to enough different places when he was up here in Canada. I know
I
you.
had poutine.
You
it was
didn't
okay.
like it. I was going to say you didn't even eat all of it. Although that was a huge poutine. All right. This should be a no-brainer. Mustard on spaghetti, yay or nay?
The fuck is wrong with you?
What? What?
That's a yay from me. I will have.
All right, I'm
Is
setting
it-
my
is it
microphone
Dijon?
to go. 2 thumbs down.
Dijon, Tommy, honey mustard?
Well,
No,
I
no.
don't typically have Dijon as my go-to.
Oh.
Typically, it's like a spicy or a hot mustard. But
But you just put
Whatever
a little
I-
bit on, not much.
what I have is what I have.
Yeah, all right. Zach looks stunned here. You all right, Zach?
I thought we were going a completely different direction with this, and yet these are all food questions, and they're all terrible food questions.
Are you surprised? This is Canadians. I mean,
I
they
was
put
hoping
brown
that you
gravy on
would-
their French fries. So.
I
Whoa,
was
wait,
hoping that
danger,
you would
Bro
ask me
Robinson.
like some kind of fandom related question, like
Oh, they're coming. They're coming. We have two of
episode
them.
3 better than episode 2, yay or nay, like that kind of thing.
So what I get here is Zach actually hasn't denied liking mustard on his spaghetti. I haven't heard a
I
denial.
completely deny it, and I completely deny ever being willing to eat Canadian food because y'all are just sick.
Well, that's not
fucks.
Canadian food.
No, that's not a
Canadian
Canadian
food.
thing.
That's
That's
just
someone's messed
wrong.
up, kick.
wrong. That's
Uh,
wrong.
Horror movies, yay or nay?
Does someone want to answer for me?
Okay.
I know what my
feel
answer
like,
is.
I feel like I need to say yay because this is a horror channel. But if I'm being honest, there are very few horror movies that like actually intimidate me, and so it's really tough to say yay when I have yet to find one that actually scares me. I'll watch cheesy, cheap horror movies on purpose for the fun of it, like Zombievers. I'll watch
What?
that.
This is not a thing. Please tell me.
That is a real thing. It's on
Oh,
Amazon
my
Prime.
God.
It is. He's not lying.
He's not.
Oh
lying.
no, there's one that's even worse. There's one about a kid whose drawings come to life, and one of his drawings was a great white shark with a hat and lights on it, and it's called Santa Jaws.
I don't know. Is that better or worse than Velocipaster?
Nah, Santa Jaws is in Baby Shark, so I'm used to that. That's what happens when you have young kids.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well,
But see, I'm the complete opposite of Zach. I'm a big old chicken scaredy cat. I don't like horror movies.
There you have it. All right, next one's a food one. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay? I know, Zach.
What the fuck?
I know you're a nay, but the audience doesn't know that.
Seriously, you trying to kill him? Are you trying to kill him?
You're literally trying to poison me. You're trying to make my first episode also my last episode.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. But it is pretty bad for you,
Put
right?
some strawberries on it,
It
while
won't
you're
kill
at it.
me, but also nay.
Oh, nay for Ben. Nay. I'm hard
You're
yay.
both wrong.
I don't miss pineapple. Like, I learned when I was 11 that I was allergic to pineapple. Like could put me in the hospital type of allergic. I don't eat pineapple. Pineapple eats me. As soon as it lands in my stomach, it starts digesting my stomach lining, and I end up needing like the strongest painkillers in the world just to keep me alive for 36 hours until I finish digesting it. So, yeah, that's a big nay, because unlike Canada, the States doesn't have the luxury of going to the hospital whenever you feel like it and not having to pay the repercussions for it afterwards.
Yep.
Say it, Zach. Say it. Say how fucked up our healthcare system is.
I think he just did.
I think he just did. I
It's
don't
as
think
political as you'll get, Zach Arnold will get.
Yes, it is. That is the most political I will get. Any other politics will be like how stupid the Senate rotunda was in episode 1.
All right, the final
George R.
one.
Binks, not that bad of a senator, actually.
The final one, and obviously the most important one.
Oh, boy.
Gordon Ramsay, yay or nay?
Yay. I personally find him to be a treasure, because he'll call adults an idiot sandwich, but he will like teach and train and take care of the younger ones that feel pressured, and actually helps them learn how to become better chefs. So I think he rails into the people that need railing into and takes care of the people that need taking care of.
I want to say nay because he seems like a dick, like an absolute dick. But I'm
Is that because you're afraid if he came to your restaurant, he'd yell at you?
Yes, exactly. I'm very sensitive, but also I'm a meme connoisseur, and he's a meme king. So how can I hate the man? Like, you know, what are you, an idiot sandwich? Like, how? That's classic memes. Come on, you can't hate that.
Man.
Ben,
Ramsay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Ben, have you by chance seen the video of him praising a blind person's dish?
I don't think I have. You'll have
There
to
was
send that.
there was a visually impaired contestant on one of his cooking shows one time, and the dish didn't look all that great, obviously, but then he starts doing more to it, and he's like, "Do you hear that? Do you smell that?" Like, he starts utilizing the other senses, and he's like, "These are the things that you really need to pay attention to." And then he tastes it, and he's like, "And it's as perfectly cooked as it could be." Like,
Wow.
all of a sudden, this blind person's anxiety just went out the window because Gordon went out of his way to like show that the technique was right, even if the visual wasn't right.
That's fantastic. Maybe he's not such a dick.
No, he can be a dick, but I love him. Totally love him.
Why
He's
isn't
so
Gordon
hilarious.
Ramsay on your soundboard?
Oh, dude, I know. It needs to change, right? Need to get some Ramsay stuff. Well, it's probably all copyrighted, that too, so... play 3 seconds of Ramsay, boom,
Bit it.
copyright strike. All right, Zach, Ben, last chance here to tell the audience what they can expect out of IPC on May 14th, I believe it is, and moving forward.
Well, a lot of it's going to be a big celebration because we actually made it 7 fucking years, which is amazing. I'm kind of surprised that Ben hasn't gotten tired of me yet.
Same.
I think we may try and do a couple of giveaways. We usually do a giveaway at every anniversary, so there may be like a Apple gift card or something like that we'll send somebody a code that they can redeem on. We'll have a pretty good barbecue discussion lined up. I believe we'll be talking about the Bad Batch, among other things. I know that you guys are about to give your review of it, and we'll have our spoiler-filled review of however many episodes have been released up to that point. And then, you know, it'll kind of be just a party for the most part. We'll be getting to know people, taking questions in the chat, probably do a top 5 discussion with people from the Peacekeeper Corps. That's a special Facebook group that we've got for people that are patrons of the program. and we'll ask them for their top 5s, and we'll read them off. And then if somebody sends us their top 5 in the chat with a super chat, then we'll read those off as well. And from there, we'll give people the links to our Patreon and things like that. So the Patreon's going to launch on the anniversary episode. It'll just be a good time, introductions, getting to know people, top 5s, barbecues, giveaways, all kinds of good shit.
Hell yeah.
Awesome, guys. Awesome. Well, before you go, quickly got to ask you guys 2 questions here. One, have you guys seen Bad Batch? And if you have, what are your non-spoiler thoughts on it? Because we do have a spoiler segment coming up once you guys go.
Ben, I'll toss it to you first. I've been talking a lot tonight.
I really enjoyed it. And no spoilers, but there were some surprises I wasn't expecting. Especially like in the first 5 minutes that whoa, okay, they're doing that. Because I was going into this thinking oh, okay, it'll be a fun time, but there won't be anything I'm not expecting, because I've seen all the trailers and it seemed like they held some stuff back. So yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, stay off the internet except for this. Stay on this. Don't go anywhere else. Yeah, don't get spoiled because there's some good stuff in there that you want to see. But overall, really, really strong start, and these characters, not my favorites, but they're winning me over. So I'm very much looking forward to the next episode, which I think comes out this Friday, and then more in the future. We got 16 of these things. Great.
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to how much of a story they can tell over the course of 16 episodes. I think that's giving it the story that it deserves, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. Is it because this first 70-minute premiere gave us a lot of characters that are either brand new to us or didn't have a whole lot of screen time previously, and now we get to see events of the galaxy unfold from their point of view. And I think that's what I'm most excited for, is aside from maybe the book Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader, there isn't a whole lot of exposition on what happens immediately following Order 66. And so I'm excited to see how that plays out. And this first episode did a really good job of segueing out of the Clone Wars into this new empire in several different ways that were both new and familiar. And like Ben said, they're probably not my favorite characters. I enjoyed watching them when they were in their developmental reel a couple of years ago. But the storyline that they have left us on in those final 10 minutes or so really makes me curious how they're going to bring everything back to where it needs to be by the end of the season, because it seems to have set up for some pretty big, pretty interesting stuff.
We'll do another yay or nay before you guys go. I'm sure you've seen a bunch of the Spider-Man 3 stuff. We gave our take on it off the beginning of the show. Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, yay or nay, are they in the movie or not? Ben?
You know what? I'm going to have a hot take here. I'm going to say nay.
Ooh.
I'm going to say nay. I think people could be setting themselves up for a mighty disappointment, because there's not a lot of evidence to support that they're actually in the movie. It's just everyone's expecting it. And I would say temper your expectations. Yes, I want them to be in the movie, but you never know. You never know at this point.
Zach?
As funny as it sounds, Ben and I usually are on a pretty similar wavelength, but as far as food discussions and these topics have been, we've kind of been on the other end of the spectrum tonight. I promise we actually vibe well on the show, but yeah, I'm going to say yay. I think even though the results of this podcast interview that came out seem to indicate the contrary, let's also keep in mind that companies like Sony and Disney have super huge, really long, legally binding NDAs where if they so much as utter the possibility of them being involved in a program, they get their ass sued off. So even if Andrew Garfield is in it, he's never going to own up to it because it could cost him his paycheck. So I'm going to say that he is in it, but to what extent, I don't know.
It's so ridiculous, asking him these questions because he can't answer them. What do you expect him to say? Oh, yeah, I'm in the movie. That's what Alfred Molina did, and he's probably in trouble now. Of course, he's old enough in Hollywood. He doesn't care anymore, so, whatever.
It's like that fella who played Baze in Rogue One who, totally spoiled his death at the
he spoiled
celebration.
Everyone else's death, but not his own.
this guy dead, and like I can't imagine like what happened behind the scenes there at Lucasfilm. Like, oh my god! And then they edited it out of the live stream later.
Someone's just like, cut the mic.
Everyone's on stage like, oh my god, he just said that.
And Kieron wants us to ask you. Oh, I can't believe we're going back to this. What do you guys think of Hayden's acting? Ask them, Sean. What do you guys think of Hayden Christensen's acting? Ben?
He's great. He's as good as he could have been in those movies. And he gives some genuinely, like, it's not all perfect, but there is some moments where you're like, this is why this guy was cast as this character. And he's magnificent. Case in point, the garage scene in Attack of the Clones. Anything when he's doing dark side stuff, like literally anything. He is an amazing actor. He just got, shafted with some terrible lines here and there. That's my take.
I like that take. A lot. Zach?
For once, we're actually in pretty much agreement. I've seen other pieces of Hayden's work, like Jumper and Shattered Glass, and I feel like he's a above average actor that gave an above average performance with slightly below average writing, and it's not his fault that he had to become a meme when he started talking about sand. That's not his fault. But when you see the way that he cries on Mustafar before Padme shows up, I think that is a testament to how great his acting is. He didn't even have to say a word. And I was convinced at how much turmoil Anakin was experiencing just through Hayden's facial expressions. So I think he's a good actor, and he made the most of what he could with his role.
Alrighty, gents. Where can everybody find you at on social media, and when's the first show again?
You can find us at IPC Podcast on social media, on all the social medias. You can follow me personally at Ben Hart with no E, and Zach.
I am Zach the Voice on just about every platform. ZACH the Voice, all one word, no dots, no underscores. I went through a lot of work to be able to get all of that social media put together. It's like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitch, Venmo, like everything has the same username. So go hit me up on one of those, preferably Venmo, and we'll see what happens. Maybe you'll get to see my Whataburger undies.
It's nice to come up with like a username that you can use on all platforms that isn't something stupid like Ben Hart with no E.
It's not stupid. It's you. It's iconic now. That's what you are.
I just use podcast in jokes as my Twitter handles, and they work. Nobody else wants them.
That's true. The first episode is 10 days from now, the 14th.
Yeah, so.
And that'll be a Friday. And it'll be every other Friday moving forward. And we'll be right here on this channel live. And then we'll also do stuff released on ipcpodcast.podbean.com. That'll be where you can listen to previous episodes. If you are new to the show, you've never heard it before, you want to get an idea of what you're getting into, then I'll put that in the chat so that you guys can have an idea of what we sound like and what to expect in 10 days from now.
Absolutely.
Reaver, that Packers hat is choking out his skull right now. Everybody's hating on the Packers hat, Johnny. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is Zach Arnold, Ben Hart, the IPC podcast coming to Fandom Empire May the 14th. And can't wait for all that. It's going to be a fun time. Check them out. Check them out on social media. Gents, thanks for doing this. Can't wait, man. Men.
Thanks for having us.
I love you, man.
Take it easy, fellas. Good night. Happy Star Wars Day.
Yep.
Tommy, do you want to hang around and go another half an hour, or do you need to get out of here? It's up to you.
I can go another half hour.
He can go another half an hour. He'll just go fuck himself. And
that's after the show.
They left, and Tommy gets big, so we'll get Tommy in here. We'll jam him between...
I get to go fuck myself, and I get to get
For a second, I'm like, oh, Kieron's back, but Kieron's not actually back. yet. All right. Let's get these fellas on the call here. Kieron and where is he? He's somewhere here. I forgot how to spell. There we go. All right. So there you and Kieron's video re-added itself. You got to like when that oh, nope. Of course we couldn't have a smooth transition, people. This is all Johnny's fault.
Am I too early?
Are you too early? No. They can hear you though, but they just won't be able to see you yet.
I just added myself back in. I don't know if that worked.
I don't know what the hell happened there.
Fuck this shit, Sean. I'm leaving.
Well, we work to get everybody's cameras right. It doesn't mean you guys can't hear us. So in the meantime, let's start off, and I'll introduce Ian in a bit here when he talks. But let's start off with our Bad Batch spoiler reviews. Tommy, we'll let you go first, brother. What did you think of the Bad Batch?
So we were just talking the other day, and
damn it.
You might have been the first person to drop word to me that there was going to be like a cameo of sorts of a fan favorite character, and you kind of spun maybe it's going to be Baby Yoda. Really? this early? This early? No, I was leaning more towards what we ended up actually getting, which was Caleb Doom. And I think the way they did it was so wonderfully done. You get to see Depa Billaba, and as soon as you hear Depa Billaba, you know exactly how this is going to go down. You're going to see her Order 66 sequence. You're going to watch Caleb, later to be known as Kanan, escape, and everything that goes along with that. I thought it was real awesome to see that they sewed the Bad Batch into that little brief scene and how that all worked out together. You see Kanan or Caleb. You see Caleb's worldview just get uprooted, flipped, and ripped the fuck apart in a hole of about 2-3 minutes or so. He thinks the Bad Batch is the coolest freaking thing since getting his lightsaber, and he watches his master get shot down by the Regs, and then you got what's his freaking name? Crosshair.
Crosshair,
yeah. Going after him, and but as we know, he escapes, so he escapes, and we go throughout the rest of the episode, and in my opinion, it just keeps getting better and better and better. I do hesitate to call Caleb's appearance a cameo. That felt like the first major chunk of the episode to me, and he was really a major character. But whatever.
Well, first off, Ian, it's been a bit, dude. Welcome to the show. I know, man, that internet sure took a long time to get hooked up, huh?
That was a month without internet, and then right after I got the internet, I was like, yeah, this is great. New apartment, living comfortable, got a couch. I'm feeling really good about it. And then suddenly work was like, yeah, free time, what's that? And today is a holiday, and I was like, great, day off. Let's get into Fandom Empire. Let's go. And then they messaged me yesterday. They're like, hey, you have a class to teach tomorrow on your holiday. I'm like, about that. You need to find someone else to do that. And I've stayed up all night, enjoyed my day off, feeling good, relaxing, watched Bad Batch, really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. I gave Sean a bit of a, and I'm clear to go into the spoilers at this point, right?
Yes.
I gave Sean kind of a live feedback to what I was seeing, and I was like, man, finally, Depa Billaba getting some actual representation in Star Wars. She's always just like that off-cast Jedi counselor no one cares about. I'm like, man, this is awesome. This is great. 10 seconds later, Order 66. Are you kidding me? They killed her off. Man, I was so ready. Like, here we go. A whole episode of Deva Malave. Awesome. This is amazing. She has deserved this. And then they Order 66 her, and I was terribly disappointed. I was so hurt. So hurt. I liked it. I really liked it. I like what it says. I think it's a 16-episode season is what they've got slated for it. I like what it says for the future. Another thing that I picked up, I like sound bites. I like listening to sound bites, especially for Star Wars. And this, when you look at the transition of Old Republic, New Republic, and Empire, there are sound bites that are unique to each era. And we finally get, when the Bad Batch arrives back to Camino, you actually get a sound bite. Everybody's movement is no longer following a clone trooper sound bite. They're now following a stormtrooper soundbite. And I'm looking around like, where are the stormtroopers? You're going to see the armor. We've got to see the armor showing up soon. And I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see a potential rebellion in Camino. I'm excited. It was good. I'm tickled about it. I really am.
That wasn't the Ian. That was the Frank. Sorry. He said in the chat, where is it? Tommy's got the smallest square because Sean hates Americans. I'm not going to go 1997 heel Bret Hart on you guys. So no, now Sean has the smallest square. I don't, in fact, hate Americans.
I saw the rework there. I was like, what's happening? Why is Sean getting
as
smaller?
opposed to most shows where he puts himself in like 3 windows.
Well, I am the biggest guy here. I figured, I get the biggest one, and Sean has stood beside me before. He's used to being smaller, so
so.
He's just taking
a huge
his place.
dude.
Yes,
I am 208 centimeters. Sorry, that's 6'9".
You don't want to piss in his cornflakes. Needless to
I'm
say,
a very small Wookiee. Let me win. Sometimes.
It was most funny when we were trying to do the studio out of your old apartment, Sean, and seeing him with those really.
Oh my God! Oh wow!
The little whiteboards, the little chair. I'm just like, I'm a big dude.
Oh man! All right, Kieron, give it to me, man. What do you think?
Wait! Before we get that, you're 6'9" and you live in Thailand?
No, I live in Korea.
Oh,
Actually,
Korea.
For the sake of it, why the hell not? I can't reach my ceiling. That's 2 stories up. So I'm feeling fine here. I'm tickled about it, man. The subways are tall. The doors are tall. Everything's tall. I don't live in Japan where the doors are short.
Oh, okay. Good. Anyways, my thoughts on the Bad Batch. I also really loved it. They did so many things just like perfectly right. How many of us, like, hands up, how many of us just popped when we heard the opening with the Admiral Yulorn's voice or whatever his name?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like,
great
how many
transition.
people loved that?
Great
right?
transition.
I was
this
so
is a follow-up to the Clone Wars. It really is.
Fantastic. Yeah, it was fantastic. Not only that, they put together a story that didn't seem like it was 4 episodes cut together. It did seem like a movie. Yeah. It was a perfect story, fit over that amount of time, which was great. Nothing surprised me that much other than the appearance of Caleb Doom. I thought it was... I mean, that definitely surprised me. I was excited. I kind of knew right when I saw Master Depa, because I have the Canon comics, which kind of explained the backstory, so I knew that. So I really enjoyed that. But everything that I said I needed to see from this, it all happened. I said, you know what? These characters, they were very cartoonish. They didn't have that much depth. They didn't feel like real people when they were in the season 7 arc that they had. But in this movie, they did seem like they had depth. They had character. They showed feelings. Wrecker is still kind of goofy, but it wasn't in like a... It wasn't as dumb and cartoonish. It was a little bit more of him just playing the comic relief. I really like Tech, and I really like Crosshair. Me and Thaden did our podcast, and we already said that we thought that Omega would end up being a clone, And we already said that we thought Crosshair would probably end up being a bad guy because they showed a lot of stuff in the trailer that showed everyone together there except Crosshair. So we kind of picked a few of those things out already. However, even knowing those things, like it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. All of the cameos were good. I know my brother hates Saw Gerrera, but I think he was okay with his part to play in that. It was cool to see him, and just like was said by already, like it set up like what should be a good season. It set up the whole story, why they're going to be chased. They're going to be chased by someone of their own. They have a tight knit group, being on that they're the Bad Batch. They're even Omega is part of the Bad Batch now, right? So it makes sense why they have the camaraderie, and it really told a great story. So I honestly, if I had to rate it, I might even give it a 9.5 out of 10. I thought it was fantastic.
You bring up a good point, Omega. We do get confirmed here that she is a clone. She is a clone. This is the first, I think, canon Star Wars attempt at a clone trooper that they've now crossed the genders for. Because they've done X-1-2, they've done Force clones, they've done clones as a hybrid unit and an extension unit. They've done all that. They've never done clones across genders. It'll be interesting to see how she plays out. And I like that you guys are mentioning the cameos as well, but the one, it's got to be mentioned, Moff Tarkin. Like, dude, we got Tarkin back on the screen. I know the voice wasn't exactly what I think all of us were hoping for, but it's Tarkin. And I'm so pleased to see him.
You brought that up, voice. If I had any grievance with this episode, and it's not about Tarkin, Caleb Doom's voice rubbed me a little bit odd. Like he's talking like
because that's Freddie Prinze Jr.'s attempt at a.
He's a kiddo.
It was very painfully clear
Let's hear you talk like how old would he be at this point? Like 14?
Legit.
13, 14.
He is very much a kid.
Right, but you got Freddie Prinze Jr., who's like 50, trying to do a 14-year-old, and it was very clear that was Freddie Prinze Jr. at times. I was like, oh, I'm surprised they didn't.
At the very first time he spoke, and
I wasn't either at first.
Yeah, that's Freddie.
He definitely slips during it.
It seemed a little forced.
Yeah, I think you would have been okay with just having anybody do the voice at that point,
Which gathers the idea: are we going to see him again in a younger age? I think he's gone.
I don't think so.
I can't imagine they've gone a whole 16 episode series with that as they're like, this is a passable voice. I can't imagine that's something that they've decided on.
So the way that the novel picks up for his life, and I don't want to give it away, we're basically led to believe that where he stands at the end of that encounter is it until Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, I mean, they can always do more if they want to involve him. I thought it was a nice little treat to begin the episode, to be honest.
Yeah.
A series that is not probably going to be very Jedi-centric. And we got to start off with some lightsabers right off the bat. When Ian first messaged me, and he's like, "Oh, it's Depa," and I'm thinking, "Oh, he just seen her die." And then I seen his next message. I'm like, "Oh, he didn't see her die."
I was so upset. I had literally commented on a Reddit post about it was a fan art of like Force ghosts haunting Vader. And in all the Force ghosts that surround him, there are the Jedi High Council, and the artist has included people like Depa Billaba and other council members who are frequently underrepresented. And I had posted on that last week, like, yeah, this is great. I'm glad that they did that. It's cool to see these underrepresented characters getting some representation. So when I got the show, I was like, this is exactly what I was talking about. I was so excited, and they killed her. I was so upset, man. It really caught me off for a side loop. And like, the rest of the show went exactly as I expected, but the Order 66, as soon as I heard the Order 66, I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, of course, this is going to happen. So it didn't catch me by surprise that she would die there. But I at least hoped I'd get, like, I don't know, like 30 minutes with her. At least 30 minutes.
You know what I think is interesting about the Order 66 thing? A possible story. Crosshair, they said that his Order 66 chip was working, but not well enough.
Yeah.
And then that they had to, like, make it stronger to be able to control him. Mm-hmm. That brings the possibility of the team rehabilitating him and finding out that he didn't really have a choice. It seemed like to them like he was just making a choice, being as he just wanted to be a good soldier and he didn't mind being an asshole. But if they find out that he didn't really have a choice, he was, following his implant chip that was working, that could be a storyline for the future. I think would be really interesting.
It could. I don't know if they'd actually go that route, though, because when it comes to Star Wars units, when it comes to Star Wars armies, when you're dealing with the difference between the Rebel Alliance and people of the Clone Army, especially in the early Galactic Civil War and what kind of leads into that, the New Republic and the Galactic Empire, you do deal with the fact that there's a significant difference between the humanized individuals who are part of the Rebel Alliance, the part of the ultimately the rebellion, and those of the Galactic Empire. I don't imagine them being able to redeem him, because I don't think, at least according to the legends that exist right now, and now that's the new legends I'm talking about, the new canon, which we'll get to when we get to some of the upcoming topics that we're going to talk about. I don't imagine they'll redeem him. He's now the villain of the series. That's the thing. And they did need a villain. They had Maul for the previous season, and now they've got no one. They've got Tarkin, but they can't kill Tarkin.
They had Callus in the first season of Rebels.
Yeah, but I wouldn't think he wasn't really the main villain. It was the Inquisitor.
Yeah, and those come from Vader at that point. It's you're not like I'd like to see something. You're right. I'd like to see something. I'm skeptical, and that's ultimately where I'm going to probably reside for the rest of the show. Is I am a skeptic at this point, especially with the topics coming as well. I am a skeptic. A lot of things have left me feeling very, very reserved and excited, but reserved. I'm excited for what the show has. But
I'm not as big a fan of the Clone Wars show as the rest of the people in this box here.
Oh man, I think I might be a little too lit for that type of talk. Anyway,
I'm 3 bottles of soju in, so hey.
This is how I felt, guys. Is when Bad Batch was announced, Tommy, you and I think Johnny might have been even on the show where we were talking about it. Was when it was announced officially.
This was the show that nobody asked for. Those were my words.
Yep, that's right. This is the show that nobody asked for, and I know Johnny a few weeks ago mentioned he didn't understand how it got a 70-minute episode, and Mandalorian isn't getting 70-minute episodes, which I totally agree with. I just, like, nothing about this interested me until I seen the trailer for it at the Disney Plus event, and I was just sort of like, wow, that's a pretty fucking good trailer. But then they put out another trailer, and I was like, oh, that's not a good trailer. Okay, so I'm back out again. So I basically expected to think this was terrible. That was my expectation bar. I didn't go on anything, and yeah, this is going to be really good. I thought terrible to meh. And I can honestly say I was completely blown away by it, and now I don't know how to feel. See that, Frank? Another guy who was out and is back in, sort of. But I'm more on Ian's side of this. Is like, I thought it was really fucking good. Like, way better than I thought it could have been.
They just fit all the archetypes. Echo comes in. We saw him in the previous season. We saw him take this place. It's no surprise to me that one of them would go awry. Crosshair leaves, one person takes his place. I don't suspect Crosshair's coming back. And that's because they've got a full party now.
I just
for
think
what Star Wars does. Go ahead, sorry, Sean.
I just think when you look at how the episode or the movie, it's really a movie, is constructed. I thought when Tarkin's watching them do the training thing, I thought that part lasted a little bit long. I sort of thought to myself, "Oh, okay, you're trying to extend the episode when you don't need to." There was a couple of times where I just was taken out of it by pacing, like, okay, you're forcing the runtime up on this episode a little bit, and I thought that showed. That aside, I really loved what we saw, and I did not think I would leave this going, yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what happens next. And I did, and Kieron hit on it earlier. He said that, during Clone Wars, like, they were cartoon characters. There was no depth to them. Not that what I've seen. And in one episode, they managed to give most of those characters a depth, which I thought was really impressive. And then obviously, I love Revenge of the Sith, right? And Revenge of the Sith is all over that episode. We're literally seeing Revenge of the Sith in the episode. And it's so well detailed, and it's like such a high attention to detail that they get right with the Revenge of the Sith stuff. And I just thought at the end of it, like, wow, this was really enjoyable. Definitely could have been 50 minutes instead of 70, but
yeah. They could definitely cut stuff. I again, going back to what I said about sound bites, it's not just about the sound effects, the music, the score, the homage to various elements of the previous movies that we've seen, the animation. It all really ties up well here. They've done well since season 7. Season 7 gave them this last platform to be like, hey, let's figure this out. Let's figure out what parts we're going to homage, what parts we're just going to let slip. And they're still using that same formula successfully, which is great. And at the end of the day, like, I'm excited for it. I'm still skeptical, but this really pleased me because this was the lowest Star Wars product I had on my radar. And with some of the stuff we're going to talk about coming up, I've got a lot that I considered low. And so tonight, I had not watched the trailers. Sean and I talked about it. And I was like, hey, listen, I'm going to be able to stay up all night. I'll come join the Fandom Empire. I'm going to watch the show before we get here. I came into it with that as my premise of I'll watch it before the show. I was really pleased with it, considering that I had not much to go with it. And Johnny, you're quite quiet. I'd like to hear what you had to say about it. Like, what are your thoughts?
Well, I guess
I know we don't. You and I don't always agree on everything. I understand that. You and I have different ranking for everything, but I still totally respect your opinions. What have you got?
No, I mean the same here. But for me, I guess I get to be the wet blanket and say that I went into this hyped and I thought I was going to enjoy it because I liked the characters. Yes, we didn't get much in the in the character building elements of these guys in their arc on the Clone Wars, but it was the second best arc of that final season. Not that there was a really high bar to be better than that Ahsoka arc, but still, I enjoyed it. I liked the characters because they were different. That's what made them something, was that they were different. They were clones with differences. They weren't just generically. Yes, there are differences in the clones that we'd seen. Like, Rex is not Fives, who's not Echoes, and we could keep going. But the clones are all individually different, but they still all fit the same, archetype. Whereas these guys, they're special. And I went into this episode, I'm thinking 75 minutes. This is going to be great. And it's, it's movie length, and I'm going to enjoy this. And it just, I don't know, it progressively got more and more meh for me. Like, starting out with Order 66, that was nice. Seeing Depa and realizing that was Caleb and, those moments, that was cool. Because, you see the kid and you think, hey, I wonder. And then, because I'm not, I can't recognize Depa on sight. Even though I should, but, I don't. but you see the characters and the interaction, you're like, oh, this is cool. And then you hear what was it, Tech talking about the scuttlebutt that General Kenobi is about to engage Grievous, and it's like, oh shit, that means Order 66 is about to happen. Okay, this is going to be fun. And you get that play out, and you see that from, I guess this is probably the final angle of seeing Order 66. We've seen it from the Jedi side, we've seen it from kind of the outsider side, and now we see it from the clone side. I liked that. Kind of closes the circle on, seeing Order 66 from all sides. But then you keep progressing, and they chase down Caleb, and you see Headshot start kind of following the programming, where everybody else is just like, nah, dog, what's going on here? Whereas he's still follow orders, and I don't know, it got weird for me progressively as the episode went on. Like, it felt forced, sort of thing. And then you go back to Kamino and you meet Omega, and it's like, okay, this is cool, and you get, that it's a girl, and that's confirmed. There was a lot of weird theories going around the last few days about Omega that I was just like, really? But you get that art playing out, and I didn't hate it, I didn't love it. It was different, but there's more to that story, right? That's just the beginning, so you can't really judge that one. But then you get that whole training thing in the middle. I was just 10 minutes of wasted time for me. I didn't enjoy it. It felt unnecessary. I guess Tarkin is, he wants to see these guys in action, but what are you going to see them in action? Until the point where they started firing live rounds, that segment was wholly unnecessary.
I agree.
If they'd gone in right from the jump and said, let's see what these guys can do with live ammo, and not tell them, and just right from the jump, I would have enjoyed it more, but they didn't do that. They spent 3/4 of that sequence training. It's like, that's nice, but I want to see these guys in action.
Well, that's just it. Like, Wrecker gets shot with live ammo, and they're like, they're using live ammo. Let's get actually to it. And
exactly.
They overcome it. And you're like, Wrecker just got shot by live ammunition. Why is he perfectly fine?
Exactly.
Does someone explain that for me? Yeah.
And then you play through the whole, the clones are suddenly completely off the reservation in acting differently. I don't want to say that felt too forced to me, but in my mind, they eliminated the clone army because after Order 66 things got weird. That was programming. That was right there in their orders. So, unless there's an order after that to suddenly turn into mindless drones that are for the Empire, which there probably is, it just felt weird to me that nobody's asking questions, and all of a sudden these are yes men. Yeah. And then you hear, Palpatine's speech, and they're going nuts, yeah. This is everything we just fought against, and he's now doing it.
So you're absolutely right there. And the one thing I'm holding against the series, and when they've got 16 episodes to figure it out, there's meant to be an actual war on Kamino. Mm-hmm. It's a civil war between two branches of clones, those who support the Empire and those who do not. And there is meant to be a clear divide. Now, we already have clear dissension from the Prime Minister and the person working with Omega. There's clearly this kind of, we're trying to get in with the Empire. They're saying we don't have a deal. We are purely business people. What's happening here? Mm-hmm. If in the next 15 episodes they can't figure out the Kamino War, they've lost me. And I hope that if they do lose me, I can still come back. I hope that, because I love Star Wars, and I hope to come back. But that has been put in place since, I believe, 2002 as this is the events. Order 66 is called. Half the clones say yes. There's a regiment that says no. There's a war in Kamino, and it damages/destroys the majority of the cloning facilities. If they don't cover that, if they don't approach that and appreciate it, they've got a lot of explaining to do. They have to figure out a way to get rid of Kamino, because the Empire can't just say,
you can't have that cloning facility. Yeah, you can't have that cloning facility exist in the future of Star Wars.
We
really
and
can't
not explain it.
we got to keep this ball rolling here, guys. But I'll say this: if there's some like big blow up at Camino, how awesome like would the imagery be of like just someone going to a like an abandoned, crushed Camino with the fucking always nighttime and the fucking the crazy rain and it could be just so visually fantastic.
Like I always in my own headcanon, by the time we get to Rogue One, they're working on what, the third iteration of the Death Star weapon, something like that. Like it's not the first.
I don't remember.
Rogue One.
That was so
One,
nice that was so nice of Ian to say he respects Johnny's opinion, because I thought his whole opinion was dog shit.
Thank you, Kieron. But like I think like I believe that by the time we get to Rogue One and they test the weapon for the Death Star, that's like the third weapon, I want to say, that they've tested on the Death Star. I'd like to see them maybe test out the first one on Camino. Like, it's not going to destroy the planet, because we know the planet still exists, but, you know, destroy the facilities and kind of leave it in a place where you can't rebuild Camino. It kind of has to happen.
I still want to see Dark Star, but hey, that's me.
Tommy, did you give your thoughts on the episode? I couldn't remember.
I kicked it off.
You kicked it off.
Basically, I talked mostly about the Caleb Doom. The episode overall, like I said, it was a great follow-up to the Clone Wars, especially Season 7. It gave us a view we haven't seen before. It's really got me looking forward to the future of the show. And yeah, you know, it was, Ian, you emphasize this the most, that we're going to see what plays out with Camino, and
I hope so.
the fact, yeah, well, they're not around anymore in the original trilogy era, so something has to happen. You said 2002. The earliest I have in my mind of conflict between the Empire and Camino is the, rebel, mission from the Battlefront 2 story, which I think that came out like 2005, didn't it? Is that what you're referring to?
I thought it was 2002. Battlefront 2 original?
2005.
Yeah.
2005. Yep.
No, it wasn't 2005, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm behind. It is
Alongside the
2005. Yeah,
Rangers.
okay, there it is. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Later than I thought it was.
Big difference.
But you're
big
right.
deal.
That's
Not a
exactly
big
what I was
deal.
thinking of. I was thinking of the 501st storyline, the narrative
Sure.
of Camino. Yeah.
Is that
I just wanted to know if there was
still
something
canon,
else I
though?
wasn't thinking of.
Is what still canon? Sorry.
Is that definitely like in the Disney canon?
No. Oh, no.
It's
no.
not, but Disney has clearly shown with The Mandalorian that some of the EU that they had originally scrapped, they can't ignore anymore, because the fans as well as directors are kind of like, why did you get rid of useful material? let's bring that back out on front.
In fact,
it's not going to happen with everything.
Kathleen
And
Kennedy, we
Was
have
that
no
story
source
ever
material.
really canon to begin with?
there were stories, actually novelizations, that supported it.
Okay. Well, because basically the whole ending and maybe other parts, when you get to, the Empire part of the story is just completely, it doesn't work with the original trilogy. So.
It's tricky. Sorry, go ahead, Sean.
Let's keep this ball rolling here, guys. So from Star Wars Direct, and they're usually spot on about anything they source back to Kessel Run Transmissions, is reporting that the Knights of the Old Republic remake / retell, we're still unsure of what it is. If it's a remake or a retell. If it's like just a straight remake, the game should be allowed to come out as early as next year. But if it's different than a remake, which I suspect it is, then it can't come out before 2023, and I don't want to see a fast turnaround anyways. However, the heavy rumor is, regardless of if it's a remake or a retell, that they are doing away, not just a rumor, but a flat-out report, that they've done away with the turn-based combat system, which is obviously really old and really outdated. Some people would have liked it for those. Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 had it. I think Jade Empire had it, and I know that the first Dragon Age had it. but there'll be no turn-based combat, so it'll be a completely new combat system. Johnny, I want to go to you first, just because we've talked so much about Knights of the Old Republic over the years on Wastelands. Are you for this? Like, does it make sense? To me, why would you remake a game with turn-based combat, whether it's a remake or a retell?
I mean, I think turn-based combat as a whole has kind of, been improved in such a way that it doesn't need to be like it used to be. Just in general. I think the concepts will still sort of hold true. Like, you pointed out Dragon Age, the first one, as it, but I don't think it'll be too much different than, say, Dragon Age 2 or Dragon Age 3, where it's still kind of based in that turn-based combat style, but you don't.
It doesn't feel as mechanical.
Like it used to be. Exactly. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with that because, it just. It depended on how you played the game, whether or not you took, full advantage of that style, right? Like, if you didn't, pause the combat to load up skills, then it didn't really bug you if it's not there, because it'll still be sort of the same as that, I think.
Sorry, guys, I need to take a brief timeout from our discussion to remind people that these two lovely things are our Halloween Kills clearly official, very authentic posters that do, in fact, exist. I see the conversation going on in the chat. Anyways, back to Knights of the Old Republic, doing away with turn-based combat, at least that style of it. Tommy, is this the right decision for you, or did you want to see everything to be like it was?
I didn't expect to see everything the way like it was. That was never a consideration.
Okay, that was emphatic. Over to Kieron.
Does it ever matter what we want? They don't fucking care.
Well, I mean, as Ian...
Let's not even do a fucking show anymore. Our opinion doesn't...
No, I mean, I get where the frustration would come from, because, I mean, Kathleen Kennedy went out there and was just like, well, the difference between us and Marvel is we have no source material.
Entitled. This is what I want, so this is what I'm going to get.
That's how I feel about everything Star Wars. Natassi Dalla. I just want Natassi Dalla.
I mean, I know there's going to be some people out there who are saying, like, well, that's what we want back. We want, that's part of Knights of the Old Republic. And to those people, I say, just fucking download all the mods and shit you can get on the original game, and go replay turn-based combat all you want. It's dumb and it sucks, and we don't need it.
Ian?
Okay, so I gave Sean a heads up on this one. I was like, hey, this is like the topic I'm gonna have a lot to say about. I am in the impression, and generally in the understanding, I am under the impression that they are doing away with player agency. I think we can forget about major story choices in this game. They have a clear canon for Revan now. They have doubled down on the support of Star Wars: The Old Republic, which has Revan as a confirmed Jedi Knight, male Jedi Knight. So you won't be able to choose gender. You won't actually get to go dark side. I strongly suspect you've lost half of your player agency at the least in this game. And when it comes down to the combat style, I strongly suspect that we're looking at Jedi Fallen Order, if not at a Dragon Age Inquisition action RPG primary with the ability to hybrid pause the game to activate a skill on a party member. Am I against that combat system? No. Am I against their decision, if it is true, to remove player agency? 10,000%. If it's a remake and they take away our agency, the game's a wash to me. And it might be one of the only Star Wars products I might struggle to pick up. Ever. And that's a big thing coming from me, because I can pick up any Star Wars product and be like, this is terrible. I hate this. Like, the movies, I don't like them. But I still find value in them. The point of a role-playing game is to give the players an opportunity to play as a role.
Yep.
And everything that this game is showing to be so far has me at the edge of my seat with anticipation for the next bit of news, because I'm that concerned that we will lose our ability as players to control our story, to control the world. I've always enjoyed playing a female Revan with a particular alignment. And if they're going to tell me that I can't play the game that way anymore, especially if it's a remake, that's not the game that I play. That's not a remake anymore. That is a reinvention of the game. And I want them to make it very clear. Either it is a reinvention of the game or it's a remake. And if it's a remake, they can't take that agency away from us. And that's the thing that scares me the most. It seems like that's going away.
I've heard rumors about that. That would be disastrous for them. Like, to me, there should be a canon version of the choices that you can make.
Yeah.
And if you follow
Which
that canon...
BioWare has done forever, but BioWare doesn't have the power anymore.
But you should have other decisions to make, too. That it can't be just a linear story. Or else it's not... We talked about this a few weeks ago, I think, guys. Or it's not Knights of the Old Republic. Not really, anyways. It's... just
Jedi Fallen Order.
So,
well, we said it at the start of the show. Like you have to have a female Revan because the best use of lightsabers is for dildos.
Fucking.
That was like the
dildos.
first thing we said of the
my
show tonight,
gosh.
right? Did we open with that?
Yes, we did.
I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah, you need female Revan.
just so we're clear, Frank said that. We didn't say that.
Well,
Yeah,
that was
Revan's-
definitely said in chat.
Now,
Frank's a
if I will
part of the
validate
show?
that with actual Star Wars lore and say there are Revanchists, which are Revanites, people who are a cult of Revan. I imagine there are many Revanchists who could fulfill that role. So I would validate that insofar as I imagine the toys exist and the people to fulfill the roles of people who use them also exist in Star Wars lore.
On OnlyFans.
It's only Twi'leks.
Only Twi'leks. Oh my god.
I'm probably gonna find out whether that exists tonight.
Only Twi'leks? I'm sure it's some parody form.
Tommy, how would you feel about the combat system being gone? And to Ian's point, if they took away decisions?
So, here's the thing. I love RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize that a more third person, on hands, whatever terminology you might want to use, combat system might be the go-to for other people and maybe more people. Having said that, I think the getting rid of agency, as Ian said, the ability to make choices would just be a bad decision. When you compare Jedi Knight Academy versus the Knights of the Old Republic games, I love them all. But Knights of the Old Republic, you have much more control over who your character is, whereas Jedi Knight Academy, it boils down to one decision. And that's only relevant for like another 45 minutes, an hour, if that, of gameplay. So I don't like the idea. At the same time, I think it would be okay as long as they don't try to market the game to us as like a Knights of the Old Republic remake or something like that. Make it something totally new. Don't try to jip your own version of the story from it and say this is Knights of the Old Republic brought into the new canon, because that's just not what we need. Give us a Revan story, but make it something original. That's where I stand.
The other thing that I'd like to put out there is when you look at Knights of the Old Republic, I think right now as it stands, it's 4,000 years before A New Hope. The talk has been for a long time that they want to move that up to be like 1,500 years before A New Hope. And then you still have Bane around the 1000. They don't want it being so far back and people going, wait a second, this is Star Wars. How is the technology not advanced hardly any in 4,000 years? I think that's something that we're going to see. We're going to see Revan be more moved up in the timeline.
Revan was moved up in the timeline. He never died. He never disappeared. He is still in the Old Republic. He continues on beyond the Old Republic. Revan is still a force that exists in the Force, and he is ever present. And spoiler alert for the Old Republic: if you've not played the Old Republic, can I go ahead on this one?
Yeah.
Okay. In some of the most recent content of the Old Republic, about 2 updates ago, Revan's back, and he walks up alongside your character and is like, "Hey, the Eternal Emperor of the Sith Empire, he has basically reincarnated himself through multiple different bodies, and I'm here to help you to end this guy because he's the embodiment of Sith power, and we need to end that because I am a Jedi." Revan shows up as a Force ghost in corporeal form, coming back from the dead essentially to assist you in this final fight. And this is the Old Republic is considered, to my knowledge, canon for this era. The other thing, if they move forward Revan too far, why are they starting the High Republic? What is the point of the High Republic if, like, hey, all this space in the middle here, let's squish it. Let's just squish it together. They have a perfect era right now that they're just starting. They're just birthing. They're evolving it and creating it, and they're going to be like, let's compress that further to not let us have room to expand. I think it's... If they did that, I would really like to have a word with the creative directors, because it just seems asinine. It would be a faulty decision.
I can confirm that the Old Republic is not considered canon to this point. Well, some people, it's sort of like in this gray area in between, but it's not canon.
It's gray, but like when it comes out of the Old Republic and Knights of the Republic, it seems to kind of be the ruling force because they're actively communicating with the with the actual devs about it. It's a weird gray situation, because if they started to publish anything counter to that, then the whole MMO would be lost in sales, and everybody's trying to make a profit off of that right now. It is a weird situation to be in. It's a gray world to be in. And Sean, you and I we've done Across the Stars enough, and I've said this enough. I'm not a negative person with Star Wars. I love Star Wars in every capacity. Star Wars, I believe, should have something for everybody. You can come into Star Wars and be like, I like this one thing, and only this one thing, and this is why I like Star Wars. That's fine. I don't care. I love Star Wars, and there's things that I genuinely don't like about Star Wars, and that's because I love it. And I think we're all in the same boat. All 5 of us here right now have things about Star Wars like I could do without that, but the rest of it is great. It just
Darth Maul coming back.
Oh, dude, you and I could talk about an hour for that, because like that's a thing. I'm not going to get into that, but they made a great character in season 7, and then they were like, get rid of that. I'm gonna have my stuff there. Yeah.
He just keeps coming back and being a different character, and
he was such a good politician. He ruled the syndicate, and
they just keep making him whatever people will think is cool to make him as cool as possible.
It's because he has spiky hair, but they're not hair.
Oh my God, teaser Why? Why do people keep asking about a teaser poster? No, there's no teaser poster.
The poster's not coming. If you keep asking for it, they're not going to release it at all.
What? Did Tommy just like turn into like Grandpa
it's the
Grumpy?
Poster.
No, let's be honest. The real, clearly authentic teaser poster right here. Look at this.
If it helps, I could show my Korean notebook.
Johnny, forgive me for saying this. this incredibly like dumbfounded look on your face for the last several minutes during this conversation. Where do you want to plug yourself in? I'm assuming the Knights of the Old Republic stuff in terms of the, will it be a linear based story? And are you fine with the combat system being changed?
I mean, I think I covered the combat system already.
Maybe it's just gone on so long I don't remember.
Yeah, this has just gone on so long you've forgotten. But I mean, I think the story changes. I don't know. It's almost anti-BioWare to have a fully linear story. And I know this isn't a BioWare thing, but
it's a bunch of guys who used to work there, though. So
it's still like at that point, it can't be considered a remake. It can't. And you can't market it as such. You can't call it as such. You know, and it's going to be hard because, you know, like Ian points out, you know, they're still pushing the Old Republic, and Revan is a big part of that. You know, like not just, you know, through the future, but there's an entire expansion built around him. He is the core of, I think, close to a quarter of the in-game flashpoints.
Yeah. Well, a little less than a quarter, but yeah, pretty close.
I mean, I think it's pretty close to that. I mean,
it is, yeah. The Foundry's the big one, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Including
there's
droids,
I think
they come
two
in
or
after
three.
that.
There's 2 or 3 before that one that are about finding him and his location, like where you have to deal with HK-47 and you know, there's a couple other ones.
One gets involved, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I mean, there's lots of Revan is very intertwined in the Old Republic storyline. And I mean, can you fix that kind of with a flick of the wrist and just pull the timeline forward?
And then
yeah. I mean, I suppose you can without really hurting the overall anything, really, because you just need to change the date of a few events. You know, like that's the thing. Like that's really it. There's so much empty space in the Star Wars canon that if they decide they wanted to pull forward the events 1,000 years, that's not a big deal, because even, you know, some people make the argument of technology. I argue the technology hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Like there's no difference in technique of you know, a lightsaber created in, you know, 2,000 years ago versus a lightsaber crafted in the heart of, you know, the Clone Wars. You know, the technology is still the same. They're still crafted the same way. And even like the actual general world, like Coruscant itself, it looks different, but still functions the same. You know, you still have your opening doors that open themselves and, you know, still open in the same, you know, up, down, circular bloom. You know, they all still exist the same way. Thermal detonators are still the same in the Clone Wars that they were in the Mandalorian Wars. You know, like there's no difference in technology. Like, oh, the ships are different. Of course the ships are different. They're different companies and they're expanded. But like if they were to wake up tomorrow and be like, okay, the Old Republic is officially canon and it now takes place, you know, what are we at? We're at, is it, how far back is the High Republic?
400 years, I think.
So if they decided they wanted to say that, you know, Bane was, do we know when Bane was?
They'd be pushing close to 1,000.
So if you want to push back these events and be like, okay, you know, the heart of the Mandalorian Wars was 1,500 years ago, you know, Revan was, you know, because Revan was the heart of the Mandalorian Wars, but, you know, his events into the Old Republic are, you know, 300 years later. Even if you want to compress that a little bit, it's fine to compress the timeline because there's so much empty space. Like we're not writing over history. You know, the major events of the EU backwards were so few. You know, you can compress that and make it canon and not hurt anything. It was the forward timeline that was difficult. But backwards, we had the Old Republic, we had the Bane trilogy, and that's it.
Here's the thing that I really enjoy about what you just said there is thermal detonators stayed the same.
Mm-hmm.
But how often do we see explosive being used in the Galactic Civil War? We don't really see them happening a lot. A lot of popular science fiction authors outside of Star Wars, and the reality is science fiction authors really borrow from each other because the birth of science fiction comes from people like Ray Bradbury and Isaac Asimov. Mm-hmm. These authors created science fiction timelines where they were so universally so advanced that they just kind of stopped doing things because robots did it for them or computers did it for them, and they came to a point where they forgot how to manufacture things. Suddenly they were without nuclear power or whatever power they had, and they were down to coal generators. Things regressed. Galactic Civil War feels like a very regressive period, which is fitting to the popular science fiction pattern of technology. I've never been a person who's like, oh, Star Wars, like, technology doesn't progress, it kind of regresses. That fits with modern science fiction and science fiction theory. It just comes down to whether people are willing to accept that or not. And a lot of people just kind of like to make a world that they feel most happy with, and that unfortunately means the simplest idea sometimes. Kieron, you've been quiet. What have you got to say, man?
I like Star Wars. The reason the ships
that's
change
my kind of gist. I love that. Go ahead. Yeah.
The reason the ships change is so they can make more toys. So that's why
confirmed
they change.
with the with the Ewoks. Confirmed.
Wow, the fourth wall just broke. Oh my god.
They got to make a new Lego set for every series, so that's why they change the ships.
You're the kind of guy that would cheese me for days. You'd egg me on for hours. Yeah, man, you get like this ship and this ship, and they got these many turbo lasers and these many turbo lasers, and then this era and that era, and then we go. And I go for like 45 minutes, and you're like, yeah, but like, how many toys do you think they have of this one and this one? What about this one? And I'm like, that's reductive, and I don't appreciate that.
Oh my god!
Because there's a truth to Star Wars in that, man. And this is what I'm saying. The Old Republic has sales numbers. When in the Mandalorian, when they mentioned Tython, the Old Republic people were like, "Oh, Tython core worlds! Oh, let's get out here." The Outer Rim, not even the core worlds. And then Mandalorian was quoting a different world in the charts, and all the Old Republic fans were in the forums like, "This isn't the right Tython. Which Tython are they talking about?" So you're right, man. Like, it's a lot of money.
They don't mind. They like to throw a bone to people like that and bring out these things that, make people pop. But they also don't mind being like, "Oh, Korriban, it's called Morband now," or actually, it's a different planet. I don't even know. So, like,
yeah, good, it is.
Sometimes they'll do things and throw them out there for people, and you think that they're throwing us a bone and being like, "Oh yeah, that's something we really want to hear about." But I think it's very random when they make decisions like that sometimes. I really love your point about technology and war, especially like when you think of even wars on our, like the world wars on our own planet. Like we had like a whole bunch of like really old pieces of junk put together in wars and just sent out there because we still had it. And, fighting against some brand new stuff that other people brought to the table, it's crazy how much changed between World War I and World War II as well, though. So, you didn't have hunks of junk out there. Yeah.
Well, yes, it was. Oh my God, yes, it was.
So, like, you have ridiculous changes between them, but then you also have some armies that had World War I tech still using, they were still using that in World War II. So
it also goes regressive as well. There were ancient civilizations that had technology that we still don't have.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so we do see a regressive technology pattern in Earth, in the world around us. And as I am a teacher of history, like that is my major profession. That is my primary profession. The amount of times that I have to tell kids, like, did you know that people had electricity 2,000 years ago? And they had chrome plating 2,000 years ago.
Hey guys,
they didn't know they had electricity or chrome plating. It's just they did a thing and it did a thing, and they were like, "That's cool," but they didn't know what it did.
Let me interject here for a second.
Thing, like, yeah, go ahead.
Let's get Tommy B out of here. This guy's got to be up insanely early.
I haven't gone to bed yet.
Tommy B. I thought he was just going to be like, "Fuck off."
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this. All right, everyone. It was a pleasure to be on. So, You can find me hanging out in the Fandom Empire Den, where I post stuff sometimes as I feel so led and as others feel so led to comment on. You can find me hanging out there on Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram at TommyB1650 and in bed in about 2 minutes.
I'm a little concerned if these people are finding you there, dude.
Wait, hang on. People can find you in bed in 2 minutes? Excuse me?
Yes.
Where's the link?
Twitter.
Oh, you gotta give us the link, man.
Are you like
You got a problem with that?
Are you like Big Brother After Dark, where you can see like the night vision camera? You sleeping?
Oh man,
Available exclusively on Tommy's.
Are you an
OnlyFans.
only Twi'leks?
is it bad that I would totally watch Tommy sleep? Like
Yes.
I need.
that's fucking
there are
creepy.
streams for that on Twitch. There are streams for that.
Why
I'm
Twitch?
sure there's also
That
streams for
doesn't
that on-
pay.
I'm sure there's streams on
it
only
does.
Twi'leks. You're okay, man.
Oh wow.
Good night,
You
everybody.
can make a fuck ton on Twitch.
Ciao, man.
So
Oh my God!
What?
What happened? Why is he? Kieron's just fucking ginormous.
He's gonna eat you. He's going to eat you. He is big enough to do it.
He hasn't heard that before. That he's ginormous.
From a ginormous human. That's a compliment, man.
I've heard that before.
Heard what
From
before?
a ginormous human?
I've heard I'm ginormous before.
From a ginormous
Oh.
human.
This conversation's getting really weird.
I'm so
It's a
lost.
lot of, we're just using the word ginormous a lot.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Get with it, man.
It's 12:30. I've been up for 24 hours. It's okay.
Oh, hang on.
You're surprisingly like animated for someone who has been awake that long.
I'm running off of 3 bottles of soju and 2 liters of carbonated beer.
I'd be dead. I just shut down after like I'll probably in about 20 minutes I will just shut down. Even if I was walking, I would just like.
I'm big. Let the Wookiee win.
All right, so let's do this to end the night. Let's end the night with this in celebration of Star Wars
It's
Day.
like trivia. Punch you in the dick.
Let's end it.
Oh,
Hang on one second.
I like
It's
where this is headed.
I don't like that either. That's him opening up a document.
We're not gonna do some more like, do you like peanut butter questions, are we?
I love peanut butter.
Let's just agree if it's trivia, every answer is fuck you, Sean, and move on.
I'm still trying for that.
It's
win.
time for some Star Wars trivia. I'm just fucking with you. I got no trivia. Sorry. But that was a little bit of a nod back to the past.
That was a knockback. Oh, shoot.
A nod back to the past.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
fast.
for sure. No.
Dude, I remember the first time I heard that, but that's a good song.
Right?
I'm going to add that to my YouTube favorites. I added it to my YouTube favorites. It was there for about 3 days, and I was like, this is old.
Ouch! You
It was
know,
just, I listened to it a lot. I listened to my YouTube favorites a lot, man.
just for that.
Let the Wookiee win!
Oh man, I wish I had trivia prepared now, but I don't.
How many shots does the E11 blaster rifle have?
I have no fucking idea. No idea.
I
More
used to
than
know this. I
11?
think it was 18.
Anyways, let's do this. Let's go around the little fandom circle here and talk about which Star Wars. No, Sean is joking. Anyway. Bill Bowers. Well, sorry, Bill. Apologies. Anyway. What's the Star Wars project that is either officially announced or damn close to it that you're most looking forward to going forward? Which Star Wars project are you most looking forward to going forward? $10 super chat in from Mr. Dean Renner. This soundtrack is sick. Yeah, man, for sure. Kieron, lead us off, man. Which Star Wars project are you looking forward to most?
You should have went to me last because I know no one else is going to say the same one as me. I'm really excited for Andor. That's the show that I'm most excited about.
Yeah,
I'm very, very excited about the High Republic books and their whole thing going on, but I've made it known that I'm really excited for the High Republic. I've met a bunch of times already, so that's no surprise. But I don't know. I couldn't even tell you exactly why. I mean, I like the actor, and I want to see Star Wars in a different way. I want to see Star Wars has been portrayed in so many different ways, and I want to see what this show can bring. And I just really like Diego Luna, so
I got
really interested to see what happens.
I got really excited about Andor once we finally got to look at how they were filming it, the scale they were doing it on, to know that they'd been taking extra time to do it. I believe it's getting 12 episodes. I think they're all supposed to be around the Falcon and Winter Soldier show length. I'm more excited for this show than I thought I was going to be. So I don't mind that pick, Kieron. And Johnny obviously can't wait for it.
Johnny?
I don't know if Johnny likes anything coming up. I don't know. I don't want
There's nothing coming. There's nothing there.
No, I mean, the answer for me is very simple. It's the Book of Boba Fett, just to see how much it can piss Kieron off.
We got another,
the Book of Boba Fett
months?
is not going to bother me at all.
7 months.
You say that now? Well, wait 6 months.
We'll get those messages in 7 months, and we're gonna get those in the chat. You're like,
Book
of Boba Fett.
As long as we don't have any more teleporting Boba Fett, then we should be fine.
Just wait until Darth Maul shows up. That'll break Kieron.
Robotic arms this time.
That'll break Kieron.
Oh, they're gonna go so far.
Darth
have robotic horns, and each horn can pop out like antennas.
And
that would probably do it.
And he's all hip.
Probably would be pissed.
He comes back.
He'd see it and just hit pause and be like, "And I'm done."
He comes back and he just has like a boom box. Starts playing the boom box. This place.
And then I hit pause and say, "And I'm done."
I'd watch it. But only so that I could come on here and just absolutely rip it to pieces.
And I would defend it to the end of my teeth, because I will. Sean has dealt with me on this one. I will take the most terrible parts about Star Wars, except a single character in all of Star Wars, which I just can't stand beside. Friggin' what's his name? Knights of the Republic, what Jedi Temple?
You just bounced all over the place. I have no idea where we're going here.
Jedi Academy. What's not Atten Rand? Is it? No, that's Atten Rand is Knights of the Republic again. Again, what's his name?
Kyle Katarn.
No, it's not Kyle Katarn. No, the when you're the apprentice and then there's the other guy and he just gets in the way all the time.
Oh, fucking Jaden Corrin Rosh Pennon. Rosh is the other apprentice.
Let him die.
Wait, are they?
Oh,
I don't.
Terrible.
It is. I haven't played those games, but
I picked it up. I think 2 months ago, and the first thing I said to Sean, name whatever Rosh Pennon. I barely made it through the intros, guys. I barely got into playing that game. Because I will
worse
defend
than Karth Onassi whining at you all the time.
Karth is close, but when I get him force sensitive, I'm like, hey, you're your worst enemy. You get to deal with yourself now. Bye. I get really good pleasure out of making him hate himself. I get that ability. It's great. That's why we need this in the remake. If we don't get the ability to force our companions to turn inwards on themselves and be like, I really hate myself. What
are we even doing?
Right. We're literally going around the galaxy like, I will bring you on my ship and make you do internal hatred, and you will form my coat of Sith Empire. There's nothing really to do in the game otherwise. Upcoming Star Wars projects for me, I Acolyte, because I really just I've had some pretty good luck with relatively darker shows lately. Like Shadow and Bone was pretty dark lately. It's totally relevant to Star Wars, I know, but like Shadow and Bone was relatively dark. Love, Death and Robots season 2 is coming out next Friday. There's a lot of dark media. Invincible's been pretty dark. And I just really hope that whatever they produce for Acolyte is what it should be. And they're capable of saying, listen, you've all had the light side of the Force, and also acknowledge the fact that the dark side of the Force isn't inherently evil. And this has been my biggest issue with the whole schism, light side, dark side. The dark side, by their very mantra, is not evil. They're just kind of like, hey, I come first, friends come second, you come last. That's the way of life. And if I have the power to do it, that's the way it is. That's the dark side. And everyone was like, oh, but they're evil. They're not shining blue light. I'm like, let's see what it really means in Acolyte. And that's kind of the thing I'm most excited for. Even though there's really nothing.
They're evil in like a Magneto type of way.
Yeah, I mean Magneto's kind of he's pragmatic in the way that like he's got an idea. It's like this is the way it is, but he's more self-centered than Sith typically are, as the rule of like, if together we focus on ourselves and focus on our power being the primary movement of our ability, we can collectively improve the Empire. Whereas Magneto's just kind of like, I'm the leader. He's like in what's her name? The Empress, the new Empress of the Sith Empire in the Old Republic. God, Asina, I think.
Palpatine's kind of like that, though.
He is. I want to melt his face off. I don't like him. Sean and I made a trivia team called Rule of Two. We are the faces of the Empire.
Man, I'm so fucking lost now.
What are we even talking about?
I told you how much of it.
Yeah, we don't need you guys. We can just do our own show.
You can phase yourselves out. Let me talk too much tonight. I drink a lot.
The Acolyte, Corey Van Dyke from Kessel Run Transmissions. I forget whose show he was on. I seen it trending on Twitter. But he said that Revan has a role in that show. Now, not that he's a character.
Statue.
Yes, that's what it's been heard. So that there's like some sort of like this statue of Revan plays like a role in the show, and like there's some lore behind it. It's not just like a passing by moment, and that it's like the beginning of, okay, so we're going to introduce you to Revan, and then he's going to get his own stuff eventually. That's
if that
their take on it.
Statue is a direct cut out of the ILM Studios Revanite statue from Star Wars Episode 9. You guys are going to hear about it in the chat, and then Sean will do it across the stars, and everyone will hear about it. Because the material exists in very high definition. ILM did it. It's there, as well as Nihilus and friggin' everybody else. They're messing with stuff. They're messing.
It's almost like they shouldn't have erased canon. Wow. Shocker.
I wonder what life would be like if they didn't be like, hey, you guys have this whole universe. It's well written. It's documented, and we haven't paid the authors. Sorry, I should correct that.
Not to mention there's no way that we can possibly tell 30 years of story with a 15-minute exposition scene. Oh, wait, we could? And we didn't tell a story in 9 hours of movies? Oh, okay.
The Young Jedi series would have made an impeccable trilogy.
Yeah, I like the new stuff.
We can agree to disagree. But again, I say this every damn time, I still love Star Wars.
Me too.
I'll still watch it. I don't like it. I'll still watch it because there's something of value out of it, even if it means the words that are of value is Star Wars. And Sean and I did the talk about the Episode 1 making of, like, we wouldn't be here. The four of us, we wouldn't know each other. I'm wearing the Battle of Scarif T-shirt.
I have that shirt.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I sold Sean this shirt.
He
before I bought my own. We wouldn't know each other if it weren't for the fact that this big brain of George Lucas said, hey, you know, it'd be kind of cool if people in a galaxy far, far away, long time ago, fought each other. And there's a vision that was there, and it's been twisted and moved and expanded universe and retconned universe and legends and whatever have your name for it. At the end of the day, we all tune out of this podcast eventually, and we all walk away with something that we say is, hey, that's Star Wars. Even if we've never seen the movies, you have this idea of like, hey, that's Star Wars. And that's something magical. Everybody in the chat, whether you've watched it or not, I know I've read a couple people in chat say, I've never watched Star Wars, I'm just kind of hanging out here. That's cool. We all really...
I know I really enjoyed the Star Wars I watched today.
Oh, yeah. It was good. It was good. It was really good. Speaking of that, though, I didn't get a chance to mention this earlier. The report that they're going to do more animated, like standalone movies the way DC does, that aren't necessarily canon or whatever. Well, maybe they'll all be canon. I don't know. But like, they don't have to be in order. They don't have to tie into another story. Like Kieron was mentioning in our chat earlier, like he'd love to see a Shadows of the Empire one. That'd be amazing. Like, finally, they did the marketing basically for a movie way back in the 90s, but it wasn't a movie. What do you guys think of the idea of standalone animated movies? Johnny, I think I'll start with you, man. You've been busy over there.
Rude, dude.
Oh, no, not rude. No, if he's that kind of busy, then it's good.
If I'm that kind of busy, I'm not on the show right now, dudes. Like, straight up.
Hey,
I got more important things to do.
Go for it.
No, seriously, though, what do you think?
I'm going to have to pull out my Tommy B card. What was the question again?
Oh, my.
Don't pull out anything.
I was distracted by the
Don't pull
chat.
out anything, please.
Wow.
Who told Zach earlier that we had to wear pants?
I don't know. Not me.
You have to wear pants?
He said earlier something to be like, oh, I'm not wearing pants. And then he was like, I'm not showing you guys. It's like, what? We were supposed to wear pants?
So what was the question?
What's your take?
Animations, right?
Standalone Star Wars animation movies. We talked about it on Wastelands way back in 2016. It was after Rogue One. We thought, well, why don't they do a bunch of like animated stuff like that then? Sounds like they're going to go that route. What's your take?
I mean, it's all about the execution. You know, like, even if you look at DC, you know, they're not all hits. There are some really, really poopy ones. And there are some really, really poopy ones of some really great stories. Killing Joke, I'm looking at you. You know, that took one of the greatest stories of the Batman annals and took a dump on it. You know, like, it was awful. Compared to the source material, it was awful.
And let's be honest, you didn't like The Dark Knight Rises either.
I wouldn't compare it to the book.
It was a direct adaptation of the book. Of course you can compare the two. That was the whole point. But, you know, like, I don't hate the idea in principle. It's all about what you're adapting. Like, if we're doing just original stories, then that's fine because they're original. And obviously the animation department is good. You know, even if you take everything out of it, you know, obviously the Bad Batch is aesthetically pleasing. So, you know, the animation department is clearly good. I mean, it's Disney at the end of the day, so it's literally a company built on animation. Their departments are just fine for doing this. So I got no beef with it. It's all about what you're adapting. Like, if you want to start kind of bringing out some of the old EU stories into this format, okay, as long as you do them right. You know, if you're going to do original stories, then that's fine too. There's absolutely nothing wrong with, you know, creating original material and dispersing it in, you know, typically 60 to 70 minute animated format, which is what the DC movies usually are.
If they can be, see, I think I like a lot of the DC movies. I don't think they've had many misses. I haven't seen them all though either. But I also like their take on, what was it, the The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I fucking absolutely love that one. It was like so good. And like even my oldest loved them to the point where he asked for them for Christmas. So we have the Blu-rays upstairs. Killing Joke I didn't mind. The graphic novel is way better. But I think there's way more hits than misses when it comes to them. So I'd be okay with Star Wars like doing one animated film a year. You know, I hope it's not like DC where you get 2 or 3 of them. Let's stick to one. I'd be okay with one.
Yeah, I mean, they waited until they were hits to start pumping that many of them out, I know, but I think they only did one a year for, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I have them all, so I bought them when they came out. I believe that they started out like having like one a year or something like that. Like, I think the first one was Death and Return of Superman story, and they redid it like a year ago and did another one. But I think they only started doing them like 2-3 times a year after they like knew they had a good fan base for them. Like me, I buy pretty much all of them. So
out of curiosity, when we're talking about a standalone animation, are we talking Clone Wars animation style or like the Old Republic animation style? And at that point, what length would you set to it? Because I would pay good money to have 45-minute films once every 2 years in the quality of a Star Wars The Old Republic animation.
I would hope it'd be longer than 45 minutes personally, but
have you seen those animations?
Oh, they're amazing for sure, but it's
damn, after 10 years, after 10 years there's a 45-minute movie. Like I would pay to have that length of movie every 2 years. Like the quality of animation really makes a big difference. I would like the quality of a lightsaber duel. Imagine Ahsoka v Maul in Clone Wars animation versus the Old Republic animation. Old Republic animation wins hands down if we had to talk about a standalone 45-minute to 1 hour episode.
I would want something different. I know I would want something different than the Clone Wars animation because I've seen that. I had enough of it. Like I'd like something new.
Oh, I would love the Old Republic.
I think we've all watched through the Clone Wars at least once now at this point. It is due for something refreshing.
For sure. No, I would
that
agree.
Sevkin time was hard. Let me tell you.
Johnny, which Star Wars future project, are you looking forward to most and why?
I already answered that.
Did you? What was your answer? I thought you got.
I said the Book of Boba Fett to see how much it would piss off Kieron.
That was like an hour ago.
Oh God!
I think we've all gone through the. Have we all answered it? Sean, have you answered that?
No,
question?
but
so.
mine's obvious. You guys know what mine is, right? I won't even have to say it. Kieron, what's mine?
Droids.
Mando, right?
Johnny,
Caravan of Courage.
Star Wars
Christmas special 2021.
A special look at Hayden Christensen's wonderful acting.
No,
The wonderful world of Hayden Christensen's Sanderson.
Kenobi. That's it. Mine's Kenobi.
Really?
Yeah, I know, right? Shocking. Kenobi. Did I mention Kenobi? It's definitely Kenobi.
Qui-Gon?
Has anybody watched the 2 documentaries they put up today?
They're not really documentaries.
No, but I mean that in a
Hang on, what one are you talking about?
I'm talking about the vehicle fly-throughs and the biomes thing.
Yeah, the biomes thing is cool. I mentioned it in the chat. Some of them they got lazy on, but like just for background, I mean, it needs to be like 2 hours long, not 18 minutes long. But for background noise or you're at home trying to sleep, throw that on. Some of them are really detailed. It's worth watching once, for sure. Was there anything else, Johnny?
No, just a general comment of that.
General comment. Alrighty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. That is episode 92, Fandom Empire Live in the books. It's been fun. It's been almost 3 hours. I got a dog that needs let out desperately, so got to go do that.
1 in the afternoon.
It's what time is it here? It's midnight.
It's midnight. It's 1 in the afternoon, and I still haven't slept since 1 in the afternoon yesterday.
Oh wow. Ian, where can everybody find you at? And when might we see you next?
When is a good question. That's very schedule dependent, but provided schedules line up and the communications align, you can definitely see me in the Across the Stars with my co-host here, Sean. As soon as we can get back into that, we will be back for that, talking about everything and anything Star Wars.
Kieron, Mr. Rick and Morty fan show guy, where can everybody find you at?
You can find me at Rick and Morty Fan Show on the Facebook page, Rick and Morty Fan Show. You can find me in the Fandom Empire Den. You can find me on Instagram at Kieron_FE. And you can find me on Twitter, the Rick and Morty Fan Show as well. And if I could just say anything, I would say after today's show, I'm really excited about all the new guys that we have coming in and all the stuff we have going forward. It's going to be really excited. I'm actually super excited to get more people in here and have more content.
Johnny, where can everybody find you at, sir?
You can find me here, there, and everywhere. Most importantly, you can find me on Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram, /Bros Before Pros Gaming, and Twitter's /Bros Before Pros TTV.
Johnny cut me off. Sorry. I was really interested in all those people coming on, so because the more people that come on, the less Johnny opinion is really showing up, right?
I'll have it on record that I asked for Johnny's genuine opinion 3 times tonight because it was genuinely a curious point on my point.
I mean, I'm lit, but you guys are killing me here.
Come on the show more often and see how much that happens.
Don't keep me up so late. It'll be more normal.
Yeah. Why is everybody asking me for the poster? Really?
Because you're the only one they know that has it.
I don't.
I could.
Actually, you've already
if they want.
already showed 2 different versions on stream tonight.
Non-stop Korean of how to say I don't have a girlfriend and I need a girlfriend.
And the exclusive Halloween Kills poster. You know what's funny is people are going to be stunned how actually not far from the actual thing this is. Much better quality, remind you, but with slightly different perspective. But yeah. Anyways, you can check us out on Twitter at Fandom Empire Now, Instagram's at Fandom Empire Now, Facebook group. Please go join that Facebook group. Talk to us. We need friends. We need people. Look at Johnny's hat. We got to get him a new hat. We got to pull together and let him see the error of his ways.
Johnny,
the
would
fandom.
you wear a Jar Jar hat?
No.
Oh my God!
That'd be a great present though, a Jar Jar hat with the ears coming down. Oh man!
Tell you what, somebody buy it for me, mail it to me, and I will wear it once.
You'll cut it up on stream.
Well, no.
He'll wear it to the campfire watch along, and he'll fucking be like, "Oh no! It fell into the fire pit."
Jar Jar Binks hat.
What I do afterwards with that hat would definitely be available on my OnlyFans in a specific category of poop.
It exists.
It definitely exists. I googled it myself, even like you're talking.
And Johnny, just for you.
Are you gonna call that one man, one hat?
Anyways, this is a fun show, guys. Fun show. We came out here, got some talking done, did some things. We had Zach and Ben on from IPC. They debut May 14th. It's a Friday night. Check them out. They're going to be doing up some shit and having some fun with it. Probably a terrible choice of words there yet again, to
Just
nobody's surprise. To our chat mods, Toronto Freddy, Frank Riker, Jade was in the chat a little earlier, I believe, and then Tommy B and Kieron were both on here. Tune in next week to see if it explodes off his skull. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, and poster, I don't know, end of May, early June, just like everybody's saying. If I had to put a date on it, hang on, let me look at my calendar. I'm going to give a prediction, official prediction. Right here. Oh, fuck. I'm going to go June 4th. June 4th. That's my prediction. So.
Can I go now?
I was waiting for Kieron to say something. Like I was looking right at him. Yeah.
Responding to students' emails.
That'll do, everybody.
Good night, everybody over there.
Good
It's
night.
still the afternoon here. I'm going to enjoy
Frank
my
is
day.
like, so just to be clear, no poster. Oh, man. Postergate, people. Postergate. June 4th, 2022. Oh, Kills gets delayed again another year. Oh, watching the online riots would be hilarious. That's all for me. Thanks, Kieron. Thanks, Gianni. And thanks. Hey, Ian, let me ask you. And this is just because I watched the Seinfeld episode. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Have you ever had anybody call you Ian? Not Ian. Ian.
No, I get Evan.
Evan.
A lot.
You don't get
A
Ian.
lot. I get Evan
How?
all the time.
All right,
How?
we got to talk about this. All right, Kieron, you can go.
We can have a whole stream about how Evan apparently I am. Is anyone here in the chat, if they can still hear, named Evan? Are we still streaming to the chat? I don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're still on.
Anyone in the chat, if your name is Evan, have you ever been called Ian? And if your name is Ian, have you ever been called Evan? Because this is a thing I've dealt with my whole life. I've never gotten Ian, Ewan, Effin, Uffin. I have always gotten Evan.
But the real question here goes back to the Seinfeld episode. Has anyone ever told? No. Has anyone just been like, "Hey, Ian," like still IAN,
No.
but Ian.
No, but I did spell my name when I was a child to EAN. If that counts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kieron
My
looks
name
like he's
translates
ready to
perfectly to Korean.
explode.
My name in Korean is Ian, and so everyone's like, Ian, of course, yes, of course, Ian, and that's why you go to the Mediterranean, like, Ian, yes, of course, Ian, yes. You go anywhere else, it's Jan, Uffin, Evan, Ewan.
We've officially just made it to the Swedish
Welcome to
Islands.
linguistics.
Maybe Evan is some sort of 7-foot-tall god that they think you are.
Hey, you know, if that's the case, more power to them. Praise me. I am God. What do you know? I am Evan.
Frank says you look like an Evan.
You look like an Evan. I mean, if Frank says it, it must be true, man.
Frank, you look like a Frank. Sorry to tell you that. Sorry to be Frank, but you look like Frank.
Man. Wow. Oh, fuck Gremlins.
I'm sure Frank's heard that a lot.
Probably. Hey, yo,
Gremlins.
I don't know what this has turned into right now, but Kieron, are you Terminator guy, man?
Terminator? Yeah, I love Terminator.
Yeah, which ones?
1, 2,
Genesis.
1, 2, and the newest one was pretty good, I thought.
I haven't seen the newest one yet.
I like the newest one. I thought it was pretty good.
Is the newest one Genesis?
No, Dark Fate.
Genesis, yeah, it was basically their remake of 1.
And I love RoboCop versus Terminator for the Super Nintendo.
What about Tron?
I've never seen Tron.
You should try getting yourself a copy of Tron 2.0.
Is that where like they redid the
It's a PC game.
original?
It's a PC game.
It's
It is
what?
phenomenal. It's a computer game, and it's phenomenal.
I thought we were talking about the movie.
No, I totally directed this to video games because you know me. That's my trivia central area. Yeah, Tron 2.0. If you're gonna get into Tron 2.0. It's probably the most worthwhile game. And speaking of cult classics / video games, Starship Troopers has a new video game coming out.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. It's a real-time strategy, and I'm super jazzed about it, man.
Nice.
Starship
Would
Troopers
you like
is
to
pretty
know
cool.
more?
Nice.
No one would like to know more. No one's doing their part. Oh, okay.
I only play video games like this.
Mortal Kombat.
Lately, I only play. Oh, did you watch the movie?
Yes.
Uh-oh, here we
I
go.
watched it.
Okay. Do we have time to get into that? I got nowhere to be. It's noon. I have dinner in 4 hours.
Yeah, I mean, Kieran's the one in trouble here. That's his call.
Oh yeah, I gotta go to sleep.
Yes or no? Did you like it?
Not really, no.
Okay, that's fair. We can talk another time on text chat or whatever. I'd like to hear your
Yeah.
opinion on why. Because I enjoyed it. I'd even line
It's
up
weird.
for a sequel.
So it's weird. This is what I will say. It's weird because I didn't really like it, but I want to see a second one.
Yes. Okay. So it kind of fits the bill in such a way that you're kind of like, I would pay to see more of that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Shout out to Frank Riker for comment of the night. Maybe we should start doing comment of the nights. He's like, Kieran's stare is like he's looking into a window of a women's gym class.
How do women work?
Oh my God. Oh, thank you, Frank. Oh, wow.
I've done that.
Wow. I thought I was the one who went through substances.
All right. Feel like we need Tommy B to just show up with his little towel on and be like, Jerry.
Wait, you want to see Tommy come by with only a towel on?
This has been a very interesting stream. I've learned a lot about you guys.
I'm pretty sure the guy wearing nothing but the towel is the one on stage getting Jerry screamed at him.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm sure he could try to scream Jerry as much as he can. I'm sure he'll see Jerry after as well.
I could have been on Jerry.
Oh my God.
This is called limbo, what we're in right now.
I feel like Kieran's refusal to get off until we actually log off is painful right now.
It could get worse.
It can get worse?
I'm pretty sure I told you already before. I want to kind of do my own show where I just talk about the dumbest shit. So, that could happen.
We're listening.
The Darwin Awards.
The what?
The Darwin Awards.
I'm sorry. Come again?
I don't know if it's appropriate for the stream.
Oh. Yeah, maybe not then. Maybe not. If
Do you guys
have
know what
to
the
ask.
Darwin Awards are?
No idea. No idea.
Johnny, you don't know what the Darwin Awards are? I think Johnny would appreciate the Darwin Awards.
I mean, I feel like I know what they are.
Darwin's major theory was what?
Evolution.
The survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
So therefore, the Darwin Awards go to the people who are not the fittest and therefore do not survive.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard
who,
the phrase thrown about in certain.
Like the people who are driving
an
RV camper down the road and it's like, I'm going to go get a set of tea. And they step up from the wheel to go set up some tea. And of course, they're not driving anymore.
Yeah.
That is the Darwin Awards. Or the thereafter is the Darwin Awards. Yes. There's whole subreddits for this stuff.
All right.
There are subreddits for everything.
Just to piss off the audience who's still watching. I can't believe there's still 30 of you in here, by the way. We're like, go ahead and say it. Most of us.
It's only
left.
12:15. There's still.
Go ahead and say what?
I don't know. Frank, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Anyway.
Go ahead and say it. The Darwin Awards are the awards given to people who die in stupid ways because they're just stupid. Darwin's theory is survival of the fittest, and if you're not the fittest and you do really just genuinely stupid and asinine things and you die because of it, congratulations. You've won the Darwin Award. You are not the fittest.
Wow, I'm really high.
Bill Bowers is apparently as well, because he's asking the same thing. I don't know. How high off the ground are you, buddy?
Oh,
if I picked you up, you'd be approximately 2 feet, at least 2 meters off the floor.
Ooh.
I mean, it depends where you are. Like, I'm pretty high right now, but I'm on the 2nd floor.
I'm not. Well, I guess that's not true. You're right. I'm on the 9th floor, but I'm also in a valley.
Ooh. So are you really high?
I don't know. I'm kind of low high.
Mm.
I'm a low high.
You guys are killing me. Oh, man. Oh.
I mean, then we're gonna have to start factoring in sea level, and that'll just really like, oof.
Yeah, right.
Right.
In Hawaii, do they? Oh, hold on. Wait. Okay. I've got a joke for you guys, and you guys will appreciate this. I think. Why does? Hold on. Wait. I'm not one for this kind of humor, but
The look on Kieran's face.
this joke just makes me really happy. Why does Shaggy always let Scooby roll their joints? Because Shaggy's joints don't always turn out good, but Scooby's doobies do.
Oh, that's corny. That's really corny.
So bad. I actually like cry every time I say it. It's so bad.
Wait, Kieran, are you reading a Dungeons and Dragons guide?
Professor Kieran?
No. I'm reading The Spear of Azura, a Thundercats thriller.
Oh boy. That cover looks very much like a D&D manual.
My God, what is going on? Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. It's 12:16.
Go home?
It's 1:16
Well,
in
at
the
home.
afternoon.
Where are you?
Frank says,
Korea.
"Remember, people, hit
I
that
meant
like
go
button."
home in the wrestling terminology.
Oh, I mean, you can go, man. I've been trying to outro for you for like fucking half an hour. You don't have to stick around.
You've been outroed for like half an hour. You can just peace.
You can peace,
Oh,
man.
cool. All right, later.
I said that to you
Bye.
half an hour ago. And he gone.
And he's peaced.
He's peaced.
Now it looks like he's staring in the gym class window.
You can just leave him there.
Awesome. Okay, so let's do this. For the next 5 or 10 minutes, Q&A, guys. Q&A, anybody in the chat, anything you want to ask, we will answer within reason. Not, don't ask for spoilers on stuff. That's not going to happen.
I'm 6'9".
I'm
just getting that out of the way because that always comes up. I don't play basketball.
He doesn't play basketball.
No.
All right, hang on. I have what the stream needs.
Oh, jeez. We don't need that. Stop that. Why do you keep doing that? It is disturbing.
Did you guys do the Halloween Kills update yet?
Yes, we did. And our update, which was a very minor one,
It's too much, Kieran.
is
You're breaking me, dude.
Oh my God. Kind of looks like Brendan.
When is the Kills poster coming?
Where were we? Did you guys do the Halloween update? Yeah, we did. So, so much shit going around Twitter. When's the Halloween Kills teaser poster coming? When are we getting a teaser poster? We were never supposed to get a teaser poster. There's no teaser poster. It's a theatrical poster.
I'm sure you can just put a taser poster out.
And it'll drop in the next month or so. Q&A, that's right, Q&A. Everybody out there, get in the questions.
You guys got to get your cues so we can give you the A's.
If you're wondering, the building
Excuse me?
outside says Jongsamaru Sohgwang Baekhyuk.
Sure.
Cool.
Sounds great.
Yeah, awesome. Wow.
Oh, you can't see it. It's too bright. Oh, well.
Interesting. All right. So, yeah, Q&A. There is no teaser poster. There's a theatrical poster. Look for it end of May, early June. And even that could be off. It just seems likely that it's in there from some of the other rumblings going on from like magazine articles and stuff that are going to drop around that time. The poster should be here at that time, then you'd think. Maybe even the trailer, but I don't think so on that front. You got a little bit for that still. Who had that one? Where were they?
What?
Kills poster. So, Sean, where's the Kills poster? I mean, the one that you guys know and love? The only one that matters? This masterpiece? Dude.
When is the trailer coming?
When it gets here.
When it gets here. Yeah, no, look, it's probably not going to happen on, like, the same day as the poster. That was a good one. My guess is July. July would be my guess. Maybe June. But if June gets here and it passes and there's no trailer, then July. And to be honest, how much more do you want to see? Like, I'm someone who's read the fucking script, and it's like, I don't want to see too many more visuals. Like, they've already showed us quite a bit in very little time. How much more do you need? Although we have heard some rumblings on what might be featured in that first trailer and some of the marketing as it starts. But that's for another episode.
Samuel Jackson in a Star Wars show and a Marvel Fury show, too. What y'all know?
That he's not in a Marvel Fury show, but he is in a Marvel show? He is one of the stars of the Secret Wars show.
Well, I mean, clearly...
I still stand by. Sean and I talked about this in the show, in the Across the Stars. I still think that if there's any Jedi who could play as a fallen Jedi in the modern lore, still fit into it, and be an incredible thing to put on screen, it would be Mace Windu, having had the Jedi Order fall around him and having just succumb to the darkness. And I think, damn, that would be scary as heck. And enjoyable.
Frank says, or asks, how many teaser trailers will there be before we get an official trailer? Johnny, what do you think?
0.
Yeah, no, we're not getting anything else before the trailer. The teaser ones are what we've already gotten. Anything else, you know.
Like, I mean, unless you count like a teaser trailer in the sense of, releasing the date, like, official trailer this Friday. If you count that as a teaser, I guess 1, because I wouldn't be surprised if we got one of those. But yeah, we're not seeing any new content until we see the full trailer.
Agreed. Unless they have one of those little, they show you 10 seconds of the trailer and then it's like, trailer starts now. That would be the extent of it, like they did for.
But even that's still
HAT.
the trailer, right? So, I mean,
yeah, just doing some stupid preview thing that nobody asked for or needed.
Exactly.
Max Elliott, when is John Carpenter coming on the show?
Tomorrow, if we had our way.
Yeah, for sure. Carpenter would be awesome to have on. You know what? If I had John Carpenter on the show, I'd throw in a couple of Halloween questions just for Halloween fans. We know why, we have a big Halloween following. But I'd be so much interested in hearing about the video games he loves, because he's a big gamer, and just like, his side of the music industry, and just some of his other experiences would be cool. And then everybody would be like, ask him about Halloween Kills and Ends.
Forget that. I want to talk about They Live.
What else we got here? What was next? Oh, how much do you think A Quiet Place 2 will do opening weekend? Oh, man, I don't even want to throw predictions like that because no one has a real good idea where the box office is right now, especially because of rules. When it opens, it'll be the number 1 movie that weekend. And you can probably look at what Mortal Kombat did. I think they did $30 million in America opening weekend. I would look for the numbers to be in and around there, if not even a little more. So...
34 million, by the way.
Sorry, what?
34 million was.
Oh, was it 34 million? Yeah.
Yeah, very good call. Very good call.
Kieron kind of looks like John Holmes in the Frozen pic. Johnny's Googling.
I'm just making sure that's who I think it is. And if it is, I find myself wondering, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm sticking with what the fuck?
Terry Willis, love the script. If they do the movie as I see it in my mind, it will be amazing. That's the big question. Just because you read a script doesn't mean what you see on screen is going to line up with how you think it should be. And it's why I'm still excited to see this movie, because I have no idea what the visual representation is of this movie. So, Mean Dean says, Kieron is staring into everyone's soul right now, and he doesn't even know it. He's watching us while he sleeps. Think about that.
So should all of us stare into the cameras right now?
Johnny just starts looking around uncomfortably. He's like,
I was typing. I was actually telling Kieron to add John Holmes to his list of celebrity lookalikes.
Man. How
I don't
long?
want to forget that.
Dean Renner, how long will the trailer be? 2 minutes, 2.5? It's probably going to be around 2.5. But if I were them, I would at most I'd have it like 1 minute 31 seconds, and with a lot of filler at the beginning and a lot of filler at the end, and basically just give us 40 seconds. That's it. That's all you need. Don't ruin the movie. We don't need to see the jump scares in the trailer. Don't. You did that with 18. I mean, I love 18, but fuck. Don't ruin everything. You can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat, Pink Floyd.
If you'd have just stopped after saying 45 seconds is all you need, I was going to make a sex joke, but you kept going. It was going to be a good one, too. You had me teed up, and then you just kept going. It's like, damn it!
Frank asks, how much are the official trailer will reveal the whole movie? I get what he's trying to say. Probably a lot, because Blumhouse movies, I mean, a lot of movies do, but Blumhouse movies especially, show way too much in that trailer. They do. Just look back at H-18. They showed way too much in the trailer. Did it give the whole movie away? No, but it was still way too much. It ruined some moments for sure. So probably more of the same, which is why I hope someone on the marketing team goes, hey, you already reeled them in. You don't need to kill the whole next movie now. Let's save some.
Heaven forbid.
All right. Max, yeah, pretty much they gave away the whole 2018 movie in the trailer. I don't know if I go that far, but The Boy of Horror, no question, but just wanted to say I like your channel a lot. Much love from El Paso, Texas. No homo, LOL. That's awesome. It's cool. It's cool. Too bad there's not a Mondo or a Zach on to tell us where exactly El Paso is from where they are.
I'd say El Paso is southwest Texas?
I think it was southwest, yeah. I think it's like really west. It's like right on the edge of New Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm teaching geography right now. I should know this.
Oh, man. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we've caught up, which means now it's time.
It is, in fact, like if you take like the map of Texas and you kind of follow that peak at the top and that L shape it has there.
Yeah.
It's like right on the tip of the L on the
really right into New Mexico.
Right into once I ran into Mexico.
Oh wow.
But
right,
like
Mexico,
it is just south of New Mexico, but it's like right on the Mexican border.
Oh, okay. Well,
gents,
wherever you are, enjoy.
This time it's really going to do it for us. Big thanks for hanging out with us for 3 hours, 21 minutes. This sort of went long, but it was fun. We were chilling. We were relaxing. We were having a good time. We talked Star Wars, Halloween, gaming, who Kieron looks like now. I mean, there's 3 Kierons looking at you. You can catch him on the Rick and Morty Fan Show, Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Johnny, once again, where can everybody catch you at for real?
Oh, man, I got to do this again. You can catch me Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, /Bros Before Pros Gaming, Twitter.com /Bros Before Pros TTV. I'm going to stream a couple of times this week, just not 100% sure which days or times yet.
That would help. I hear. Ian, where can we find you next, sir?
When, again, is the good question, but as soon as we can, we'll be back on the Across the Stars podcast, I believe, as well as the Across the Stars Twitter. Is that right, Sean?
Yep.
Yeah, so Across the Stars Twitter is where we're also available, and where we'll talk about everything Star Wars, as much as we really feel to our heart's demand.
Yes. And check us out, Twitter @FandomEmpireNow, Instagram @FandomEmpireNow, Facebook, Fandom Empire page, Halloween Newsnet page, or the Facebook group where we all do just weird things and Kenny posts 10,000 times. We love you, Kenny. The Fandom Empire Den on Facebook. Good night, everybody. Have a good one. And don't forget, the boogeyman, he's coming.
It's Yoda.